From the Rough Rider Center in Watford City, North Dakota, it's time for Bismarck Bobcats hockey and the war in Watford City for the fourth consecutive year. The Bismarck Bobcats taking on the Minot Minotauros in the first of a two-game series at the site of the oil boom, Watford City, North Dakota. The Bobcats and Toros played to a 6-5 Minot win here last September 11th, and here on the 9th of September, the Bobcats and Toros take the ice for the first time this season in a game that sure may not matter for points. That's not till next Wednesday at the North American Hockey League Showcase, but a lot on the line for sure in what has been such a tremendous rivalry for the past 11 years. The Bobcats and Toros all coming to a head, and we'll talk about that last April when Bismarck and Minot played a rather critical game up at the Mesa Arena in Minot to give the Bobcats a playoff berth and knock Minot out last year. So the Bismarck Bobcats will start this game with a line centered by Paul Huglin. Patrick Johnson and Drew Holtz are on either wing. On defense are Michael Newmeyer and Nick Baer, a rookie, and in goal is Lenards Lipskis from Latvia. Bobcats changing up all their goaltenders. They have three you'll hear about in this weekend, along with 30 players overall. Minot brings 31 to the war in Watford City. Both teams lined up on the blue lines, and will pause for the playing of the national anthem. And with that, we're set for hockey here on Cool 98.7 and Facebook Live. Want to welcome in everybody tuning in wherever you may be as the Bobcats and Minot take on each other in the first of a two-game preseason series in Watford City, North Dakota, and the Rough Rider Center. Just a gorgeous rink. The hospitality's always been great. For this, the fourth consecutive year the Bobcats and Toros have played here. Colby Joseph is taking a ceremonial face-off for Minot, their top goal scorer last year, against the Bobcats' Patrick Johnson, who will start the game with Paul Huglin and Drew Holtz. Meanwhile, for Minot, Colby Joseph, who scored 23 goals last year, is playing with Hunter Longkey, a former Bobcat 3 years ago. Played in this war in Watford City during his brief time as a Bobcat. He is up front for Minot with Chase LaPinta, an 18-year-old from Texas, and that line has been really, really good for them. Bobcats putting a line of Johnson, Huglin, and Holt together. Paul Huglin has not played any preseason action. He was out with a brief injury. He said he'd be able to come back for the weekend, and he is. And he starts up front. Bobcats right to left, Toros left to right. The drop of the puck, and off we go in the first preseason game. First of at least 62 times we'll take the air for Bobcat hockey. Bobcats take the face-off. Huglin playing with Johnson and Holt. Johnson comes in left wing. He's dispossessed by Weston Knox, and the puck comes back in the Bobcat zone. Lenards Lipskis is in goal. for the Bobcats. Usually in these preseason games, they'll play one goalie for half the time, another goalie for the other half. And C.J. Keir is the Bobcat backup today. For Minot, it's Dane Couture in the goal to our left. Bobcats attack that way. And Patrick Johnson gains his own onside to his left. Put it through the legs of Knox. He shoots. Tough angle stop was off the right side of the goal of Couture. Chase Beacom keeps the puck. Beacom gets away from Knox, left wing corner, comes around to the far wing, and Justin Dauphiné can't get it out for Minot. Johnson comes down the right wing, works on Ben Johnson, looks to move toward the goal, wraps it around, he shoots. A backhander stopped by the goaltender Couture for Minot. A 20-year-old from Minnesota at 6'1" in the Minot goal. Here's a shot. Reller stopped. Brandon Reller's right wing try from the bottom of the circle turned out by Couture. Now a right wing shot tip. Reller off the post on the right wing. Reller corrals the puck and it is lifted out by Minot. He's playing with Evan Hunter up front for the Bobcats and Nico Chmielewski. Minot ices the puck with 1:13 off the clock in the first period. The Bobcats the only semblance of offense. A couple of shots on net. Brandon Reller hitting the post. A guy who's going to have a lot to prove this season with his first full year in the North American Hockey League. A guy who missed 24 games in a row over the span of 4 or 5 months. For the Bobcats, a big man at 6'4", 210. A power forward when you look at him, but he wants to have finesse to his game. And he'll have a lot to prove along with Nico Chmielewski, who takes this face-off. Rookie Evan Hunter is on the left wing. And the Bobcats lose the draw. Ben Johnson around the back of the Minot goal. A hit put on by Reller. And the puck is kept in by Trevor Mitchell to the right wing corner. Nico Chmielewski has Hunter in front. The shot turned away by Couture. Reller right side of the goal, whips for a rebound. Dauphiné took it off his stick. It's to the far point and picked off by Minot. Torrey Lund comes up the wing, gave it away. Reller high slot, shoots, he scores! Bar down from Brandon Reller. He scores the Bobcats' first preseason goal. It comes at 1:37 of the first period. Bobcats 1, Minot nothing. And if you're Brandon Reller, that's a dream start for you. Bobcats take a 1-0 lead. Well, a turnover. Minot couldn't clear their zone. And Reller took the puck in the high slot. The lefty's wrist shot over the left shoulder glove side on Couture. Crossbar and down, and the Bobcats take the 1-0 lead. Well, Reller last year only had 10 points, but that was in just 16 games. 6 goals in 16 games. But in the second half of the year after he came back from his injury, here's a puck out of play. Off the mesh and ends up in the first row on the goal to our left, the Minot zone. Face off to the neutral space. But for Reller, he just couldn't get back to the speed of the game. And the speed of the game meaning, well, you can't run at guys and get by them, which he did ultimately earlier in his season. But teams found that out, adjusted to it. Got defenders in front of him, wouldn't let Reller go by, and that was the way to beat him. Well, Reller, for what it's worth, has a great shot, and the Bobcats have used it to a 1-0 lead here in the first period. Just 2 minutes elapsed. Bobcats with the puck in the zone. It's around behind for Mitch Simmons to play it for Kyle Dahl. At just 17 years old from Lakeville, Minnesota, the youngest Bismarck Bobcat. Simmons a shot tipped by Dahl, loose in front. Eddie Shepler was there below the hash marks, and the Bobcats couldn't tip one on goal. Minot takes control with Nick O'Hannison, second-year defenseman. Goes up the right wing, gets it past Cooper Rice into the corner, and the Bobcats control in their own zone. So no shots on Lenard's Lipskis. Only one offensive zone gain for Minot. One sustained possession, and the Bobcats have a goal already. Ian Engel on defense with Mitch Simmons. They're back behind their goaltender, Lenard's Lipskis from Latvia. First touch for Nolan Nenau, first shift for the Jamestown Blue Jay. Goes up the left wing, and a Bobcat wiped out. That's John O'Hoyne to the left wing. Carried back in by Minot, drop pass right wing, Constantine shoots and a save by Lipskis. From 50 feet away on the right wing, he holds on. Lenard's Lipskis has his first save. So 2:58 gone by in the first period. Bobcats lead Minot 1-0 here in Watford City. Glad you're with us for some preseason action here on Cool 98.7 and Facebook Live. We'll be on Super Talk 1270 tomorrow for a 7 o'clock puck drop between the Bobcats and Toros in Watford City. Minot wins a faceoff. Nick Sawecki shoots. It's fended away by Nick Bear below the Bobcat hash marks. Bear on defense with Michael Newmeyer. Left wing chance for Minot goes wide right. Off the boards, a shot by Joe Westland ends up off the back of the Bobcat goal. And Bismarck's Michael Newmeyer controls. Chipped out of the zone. kept in for a moment. Sam Blanton tries to move it along. The puck hits the referee's skates, and Neumeyer controls. Dylan Zober's the referee, with Kieran Green and Zan Ottenberg on the lines as three-man officiating crew. Puck in front of the penalty box area. John O'Hoynes works along, and Joe Westland chips it past him to center. Neumeyer from the checkered line, lobs it deep, ends up on a one-hopper into the glove of Dane Couture, and the goaltender for Minot holds on. Well, Couture is joining the Toros as the third goaltender. Each team carrying 3 goaltenders and over 20 skaters. Well, Bobcats have 30 overall players, 27 skaters. Minot 28 with 3 goaltenders. Well, Couture comes in, it's his final year of eligibility, and it's his first time playing tiered junior hockey. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, the North American League's Tier 2. So a big step up for him. And the goal to our left as the Bobcats win the face-off and dump it around. Weston Knox lost his feet as Patrick Johnson hits him on the far boards behind the Minot goal. And the Toros come out left to right with LaPinta. Coming up with Joseph. The pass to Joseph in front, tips it high over top of the net, and the puck ends up in the right circle. On the right wing near the point, Knox keeps it down low. It's taken along by Hunter Longhi. Left wing shot gets blocked. Joseph around behind. Wraps it, then lost his footing, wobbled a bit, got it back to the right point. Knox feeds it across left. Ben Johnson tries to move it around Holt to put him down. And the puck leaves the zone back to center. LaPinta back on that. From Frisco, Texas, LaPinta comes over the Bobcat line, was spilled by Paul Hughlin and Chase Beacom. Beacom, a very physical Bobcat defenseman, blocks plenty of shots. Back for his 3rd year as a Bobcat. Bobcats through center ice, near wing Hughlin to the bottom of the left circle, hit by Nick O'Hannison. He was put down, and Longhi controls the puck for Minot. His first year as a Toro, 4th year in the North American Hockey League. Right wing for Nick O'Hannison, drops it back, and Paul Hughlin took it away. Nick O'Hannison playing with brother Jack O'Hannison on the Toros for this preseason. Nick, a Minot 2nd-year defenseman, and Jack, a rookie. Puck comes up the middle for the Toros. The outlet is tipped in by Trevor Mitchell. Bobcat defenseman playing with Ian Engel, icing waved off. And the Bobcats control right to left. Nico Chmielewski in the middle for Mitchell through his legs. And it's taken away by Torrey Lund. Backs up in the Minot zone and lobs it ahead to center. Engel a back pass to Reller, and the Bobcat goal scorer shoots it in to the corner on the left wing. 5.5 gone first period. Bobcats 1, Minot nothing. Just really one save that Leonard Zlipsky's the Bobcat goaltenders had to make so far in these opening minutes. Bismarck controls. Both teams have really nice looking jerseys. Bobcats in black and Minot in white. We'll get you the full descriptions of the next whistle. As Owen Hansen, the Minotian, the Minot native, controls for the Toros. Goes in left. A forehand shot comes in front, and it's swept wide of the goal crease. Constantine shoots a right point shot that ends up hopping off its stick into the mesh behind Lipsky's. Face off in the Bobcat defensive zone. So Bismarck is wearing black jerseys with a Vegas gold trim. Watford City Oilers style, if you will, the Edmonton Oilers logo, but with Bobcats as the text. And the text which just falls down in the middle of the oil. Bobcats lose the face-off. Constantine shoots, save, loose in front. Lipsky's out of position, but Shepler has the rebound. And he comes up the right wing, feeds for Nolan Nenau, crashing the goal, a shot, save, and it couldn't be covered by Couture. Ends up left corner, and Nenau was put down. Stand-up check by a Toro, Owen Hansen. Puck out of the zone, Bobcats control with Nick Baer defensively. Minot has North Dakota Pride jerseys. A white base with blue along the pants and the numbers, red letters, and blue shoulders. With the North Dakota state flag around it and the seal. So, a couple of jerseys which commemorate where we're playing, the state, and for the Bobcats, the exact city. Offside touch for the Toros coming in over the Bobcat line. Face off in the neutral zone. Bobcats lead Minot 1-0. Minot doing a great job of supporting the state they play in, and of course the city. Their third jersey, a permanent third jersey at least for last season, was a Magic City Minot jersey with a gray base and the train tracks and the train car, the locomotive, commemorating the Minot origin story essentially. Train tracks running on through the Magic City with Magic City on the front of that white and gray and black jersey. It was a really phenomenal third jersey last year. Hope they bring it back. Puck in the Bobcat zone. Minot can't reel it down at the line. Nick Sawecki with Joe Westland and Max Martin on the right wing. Martin comes in, shoots high over the glove hand of Leonard Lipskis. Far point keeping a shot, tumbles wide behind Lipskis. The Bobcats Beacom trouble clearing it right boards. Now it comes out and through the Minot defense down to the far corner. Johnson chasing it down with Hoynes and icing waved off. Puck in front of us near the penalty box area. Westland starts it left. Off the far boards, hit the linesman skates, and Martin shoots it deep for Minot. Lipskis behind the goal crease makes the touch. Couldn't get a Bobcat to it. Beacom just over skates it. Sawecki coming in for a forecheck, couldn't take the puck away. And Bismarck's Beacom lost the puck again, far wing. Minot keeps the zone. High slot, Lapita shoots wide right. As the first line comes back out, a right wing shot again is blocked by Mitchell in front. Puts a weak clearing try off the near boards. And the puck kept in, Joseph in front. Longy shoots blocked in the legs of Hoynes. The Bobcats Johnson 2-on-2 with Holt. Coming over the Minot line near wing. The puck is batted out of the air by Holt, but not near the net. Johnson puts down a Toro far wing, kept in by Holt in the corner. Holt off the legs, it's taken by Longy. And Minot put the puck through center ice. It's swept in by Mitchell. And Colby Joseph back to control. Out of Manitoba, Colby Joseph, 23 goals to lead Minot last year. Really their best player down the stretch. The Minot team that only brings back 8 of their players and not nearly as much scoring as the Bobcats do. Bismarck has 13 returners from last year. Right wing shot is stopped. Drew Holt covered up by Couture on a chest high save. Both teams, though, at least for now, have to wait for the USHL, the top level of amateur junior hockey, to have its preseason roster trimmed down. Their preseason begins today as well, but regular season not for a couple of more weeks. Both teams certainly waiting on some guys who are in the USHL preseason right now. But if both these rosters stand, both Minot and the Bobcats will have lost 6 of their top 7 scorers in terms of overall points last year. But Bismarck controls a whole lot of guys from last year. 13 returners, Minot just 8, and by far more scoring. So it's not, the world ending here like it may have been last year. The Bobcats having to start from scratch with almost their entire roster. Minot comes in, Lund, a left wing shot, sails high of the goal. To the right half board that's swung in deep. And Jackson Ekblad works there on the far corner. Ekblad from nearby Williston, about a half hour down the road. The Williston Coyote making his second Warren Watford City. Stretch pass, Evan Hunter. Right wing, he comes in. He forehands, he scores! On a stretch pass, the Bobcats' Evan Hunter scores the goal. His first goal as a Bobcat, playing his first North American Hockey League action. Bobcats take a 2-0 lead with 10:41 to go in the first period. Well, a stretch pass came over the Minot line. From the line and in, Hunter took his time. Went down the right hash marks, went backhand to forehand multiple times. Went high glove on Couture and goal for Minot, who from all accounts has been pretty good in the scrimmages. Both teams have had 3 scrimmage games to get ready for this one, these two. And Couture, not so much here in the first period. Bobcats a 2-0 lead, and Minot has only a couple of shots on net. Turnaround try from Hansen is blocked by the Bobcats' Leonard Lipskis. Minot keeps the puck in the right side of the point. Off the legs of Nate Mann, the ex-Aberdeen wing. He hits a Bobcat far corner, Dahl. Left wing Hansen comes in, backhand shot, goes wide of the goal. 2-on-2 scrum right boards, and the Bobcats win it away. 2-0 Bismarck, halfway gone, first period. Bobcat offense with questions to answer. They come in 2-on-1, Shepler right wing, feeds it across, it's blocked by a sliding Owen Hansen off his knees to the near corner. With Nenow coming back door along with Dahl and Shepler. Weston Knox from Minot takes it away. Knox, a Minnesota high school champion last year out of Andover High School. Moving on a long left wing, Martin takes it around the back of the Bobcat goal, and Lipsky shoves him to the far corner. The Bobcat goaltender coming out of his crease. Minot works far wing, Nick Sawecki, making his first full year as a Toro from Pittsburgh. Bobcats can't clear it out, and at the right point, it is touched for a penalty on Nick O'Hannison. A roughing call on O'Hannison, looks like. And the Bobcats will go to a Skills Electric power play when we come back to the Rough Rider Center in Watford City. We're back in 30 seconds. 9:23 to go in the first period. Bobcats lead 2-0 on Cool 98.7. Back at the Rough Rider Center in Watford City, site of the 4th annual war in Watford. It's the Bobcats 2, Minot nothing. Checking from behind, the call on Minot's defenseman Nick O'Hannison on the boards in the Bobcat zone. And Bismarck to a Skills Electric power play for the first time in this preseason game. Bobcat power play looked pretty good in 2 scrimmages they had against the Aberdeen Wings back on Tuesday at Wachter Ice Arena in South Bismarck. Bobcats won both games 2-1 and 3-1 after an inter-squad scrimmage over the weekend. Minot won both of their preseason scrimmages against a Tier 3 team in Helena, Montana, the Helena Bighorns. They scored 20 goals in 2 games and allowed just 2. Bobcats win a face-off to the near point it goes. Hunter and Johnson dig in. Stahowiak and Knox for Minot try to work it out. Hunter keeps the zone near point along the line to the right for Michael Newmeyer. Open space now, moves in right circle. Wrist shot blocked in front by Constantine. Batted toward the goal by UC Malmi for the Bobcats, and it's covered up by Dane Couture. So UC Malmi from Finland, lanky 6'3" forward, a lefty forward on the right wing with a shot toward the net. His first shot on goal in this first period. Our play continues, 1:40 on the clock. Bobcats win a face-off, but the puck is clear to the right point, and Newmeyer can't keep the zone. It's shot back out by Justin Dauphiné for Minot. Who checks. Newmeyer stays on. This is power play number 1 for the Bobcats. Newmeyer runs a power play once again. With no John Ziski, he's off to Niagara, so Newmeyer becomes power play number 1's defenseman. Chase Beacom runs the second one. Puck to the far boards. Bobcats get it in with Newmeyer. 4 forwards, 1 D. Newmeyer walks down the right boards into the circle. And behind the Minot goal for Malmi. Up top for Evan Hunter, who just scored. He walks, gets a man down, feeds left wing for Holtz. Up top, a shot gets booted by Malmi through his stick and out of the zone to center. The Bobcats, Newmeyer hops on that halfway through the power play. And Lane Sedevy, the Bobcat head coach, keeps his first line on. 8:15 to go in the first period. Bobcats have a 2-0 lead. At the right point, Hunter down low for Holtz. Moves to the high slot, feeds left Newmeyer. He moves in and shoots, blocked. Into the high slot, right wing Hunter. To the right faceoff dot, shooting, blocked again. Off the left side of the goal, to Couture's left. Bobcats keep it in, far point for Johnson. Down low Hunter, back for Patrick Johnson, a Bobcat captain. He and Nico Chemilevsky this year. Hunter shoots, blocked in the legs of Ben Johnson. Puck is high up in the air, taken down by Hunter. And the Bobcats power play continues to work in the Minot zone, up by 2. Left wing Newmeyer. Down to the left circle for Holt, spins at the dot, feeds right open man, Johnson shoots off the side of the crossbar. I just heard a little bit of a ping off the side of the bar. Bobcats keep it down the far boards. Holt, tail end of the Bobcat power play. Right wing for Johnson, feeds in front, tipped by Holt. And Henderson gets released, back to 5-on-5. Bobcats keep it, Hunter shoots, saved by Couture. From the bottom of the left circle, it's covered up by Couture for a whistle. And below the hash marks, Ben Johnson for Minot, shoving with Drew Holt. A couple of Minnesotans go in. And a face-off coming up. $7:17 to go in the first period. May have heard a clank during that power play. Our crowd mic fell down from the ledge of the boards in front of us. We are right to the left of the penalty boxes, near side of the ice, and up on top of a scissor lift, way over the glass here in Watford City. That is ingenuity on the part of the folks here at the Rough Rider Center. Puck dumped down to the Bobcat zone off the Minot draw win. Mitchell's back to control. A Western Michigan commit, the big defenseman Trevor Mitchell, second-year Bobcat, feeds up to Redler, who scored the Bobcats' first goal. Nico Chmielewski forechecked, spot around by Couture, the Minot goaltender. Redler a left half-boards keep for Nico, left corner. Here's Chmielewski, spins behind the Minot goal. And Nico got stripped by Colby Joseph. Bounce it around far boards, it's kept in but only for a moment. And Hunter Longy controls for Minot, feeds right for LaPinta. Over the Bobcat line, right wing LaPinta, hounded by Beacom, puts a stick into his hands. LaPinta feeds for Joseph, but Nico wards him off. And the Bobcats, Mitchell controls behind the goal. Mitchell with Beacom on defense, a common pairing from last year. Chase Beacom clears it out down the far wing. Minot down by 2 in the first period, gets it up the right side. Beacom put it into Owen Hansen's body. Ian Engel's back to control. Engel from Wisconsin, one of 3 Wisconsinites. The Bobcats went from 0 Wisconsinites to 3 in the span of an offseason plus a month or so. Ian was the Bobcats' tender ad from last year. Rosters expand by 1 at the end of the year. Toros keep it in, left point shot, tumbles wide of the Bobcat goal. And Lipsky's watching play to his right. Far wing a shot, Hansen's shot was blocked. Gets it back to him, left circle. In the feet of Nolan Nenau. Far wing keeping it around the boards for the Bobcats, Kyle Dahl, who slips one to center ice, and Rice gets it over the Bobcat line, right wing. With man to his right, Nate Mann takes the drop pass, right goal line, centers across the goal crease. And the Bobcats have a 3-on-3 if they hurry. Lobbed across left wing, Dahl chips it in, gets by a Toro, knocks, centers across away from Shepler. Ends up in the far corner. Nenau back for Dahl, through Dahl. And the Toros control. Bobcats go off for changes. Dono Hoynes comes over the bench as Nenau and Hoynes go in for a puck in the penalty box area to our right at center ice. And the Bobcats Engel controls again. Engel played just 1 game last year, was in North Iowa. And most notable thing to come out of it was his rookie lap at Mason City with 3 games to go in the year. Bobcats in a playoff race, made the playoffs. We're not going to risk changing up their lines too much, but got Engel a game. Took his rookie lap on visiting ice in Mason City, slipped and fell flat. And the video didn't go viral, but it was one that Ian's not going to forget. All his high school guys found out about it back in Wisconsin. None of that sort so far this year. Toros have the puck going left to right. Trevor Stahowiak over the Bobcat line. Mitchell blocks his shot to the right corner. Up top, Ben Johnson, right point, shoots. Blocked by Hoynes. It rolls to the goal. Sticked away off the goal stick of Lipsky's to his right. Toros from center, shoot back in with Stahowiak. Trevor Stahowiak out of Glencoe, Illinois. One of the Toros who, along with Hunter Longy and Joe Westland, who's on the ice right now, and Colby Joseph, going to have a good year to get the Toros offense rolling. An offense that was stagnant in the second half of last year. Toros were a great team in the first half, not so much in the second half, and missed the playoffs for the first time in 9 years. Not since their first season have they missed the playoffs, but last year was the case. Bobcats with the puck in the Minot zone, under 4 to go in the first. Huglin taps it right. Mitch Simmons winds and shoots off the blocker of the goaltender Couture. Left wing keep, and a shot by Mitchell was blocked off Joe Westland. The hard-nosed Minot forward who caused plenty of angst in the Bobcats' last Watford City meeting a year ago. Huglin gets by him, left half boards for Drew Holt. O'Hennison scrapes it away, but Holt interlocks leg on leg with him. To Couture, the Minot goaltender's right, near corner. 2-on-2 scrum. O'Hennison shoves Patrick Johnson, works in with Holt. They get it loose, but right to Joe Westland, who can't get it out. Mitchell, a right side keep to the far boards, and the Toros finally get it away. Bobcats can't clear it out. Max Martin, far corner, with Mitch Simmons beating him to a loose puck. Off the near glass it goes, high glass. And Constantine for Minot keeps the puck in. Joseph wrapped up high by Mitchell. Arm stays down by Zobel, the referee. Bobcats lob it down, short of icing. And the Toros back to control. So Chase LaPinta looks up. His pass off Hunter Longy, taken by Colby Joseph. Goes left over the Bobcat line. First line comes out. And a shot goes over the gloved hand of Lars Lipskis. Constantine shoots blocked. Bobcats have Reller cherry picking, and his pass is offside for him. With Reller, Hunter, and the third Bobcat is Chmielewski. Toros a free puck. They turn the puck over. Newmeyer comes back in with a 4-on-2. Nico shoots, save. Top of the left circle, the low shot was stopped by Couture. The puck sent down by Minot for an icing call, going left to right. Toros caught for a rare icing. They will not be able to change with 2:10 to go in the first period. Coming up following the first period, Hunter Laszlo is going to join us. We'll have to bring the scissor lift down. We've got it well over the glass. I'd say about 4 or 5 feet over the glass. Have to bring that all the way down to ground level and get Hunter his headset. But Laz will join us in 2:10. Bobcats off to a good start, up by 2. Win a face-off, a shot goes high from the 17-year-old Kyle Dahl. Left point keep for Newmeyer. Gets it down the left boards. And around to the right wing. Shepler to the corner. Back to him. It's through his stick. And splits the Bobcat defenseman Ekblad and Newmeyer. So Ekblad from Williston, one of the top defensemen in the entire high school system last year. Bobcat stretch pass comes in, but offside. Eddie Shepler not realizing it. That was a tough one. He's saying how to the referee, who does not make the offside call, but Eddie not happy about that call, and as a result, with a stretch pass from the Bobcat zone, that's where the faceoff's going to be. Lane Sedevy hopping off the bench, but not having a word from the bench to our right. Lane begins his 13th season as Bobcat head coach, looking for his first Robertson Cup as the head man. Coming up on a milestone, too. He is 15 wins away from 400 in the regular season. Hunter Laszlo, second-year assistant, to his left on the bench. Bobcats outlet. Kyle Dahl coming up with Shepler and Nenow. Puck comes in far wing onside. Dahl lands a check, but goes down far boards. And Minot comes out with a 3-on-3. Back checking is Nenow, along with Engel, who gets the puck onside as Knox came in. And on the far wing, an offside play of Lund. Pace slowing down just a bit with 1:28 to go in the first. Not a full house here at Watford City. It will certainly be more attended tomorrow. Earlier start, 7 o'clock, a Saturday night. There's high school football going on within feet of this building. Watford City high school football team taking on Dickinson. Earlier start for that game, but fans have not come in from that yet if they want to. Bobcats gain the zone right wing. John O'Hoynes. Fans on a centering pass toward the high slot. Sam Blanton was there as the Bobcat fourth line goes to work, and the puck is dumped in by Minot. 1:10 to go in the first period. Chase Beacom sheds a Toro. Lund going after him, and out come the Bobcats 2-on-3. UC Malmy comes down the slot along with Blanton, but they can't get the puck. Hoynes along with Blanton as well. Minot keeps the puck, and they control with O'Hannison. Right wing with Rice near the Bobcat penalty box area. Cooper Rice, 20 years old, from Vermont. His first year in the North American Hockey League. Puck dumped in by the Bobcats right to left with 38 to go in the first period. Bobcats 2, Toros nothing. Owen Hansen for Cooper Rice. Minot sends it deep. Gets past the goal stick, over the goal stick of Leonard Zlipskis for the Bobcats. With his white helmet mask and black and white Bauer goalie stick, white pads. Bobcats have the puck 3-on-3. Left wing Hughlin, first line, a shot. Stopped off the right toe. Johnson backhands one toward the crease. It's covered up into the glove of Dean Couture, the Minot goaltender. Again, both goaltenders. Bobcats will see C.J. Keir play this game as well. Each team dressing 3 goaltenders for this weekend. They'll play 2 in each game. We'll split time right down the middle. So Leonard Zlipski's playing the first 30 or so minutes, and then C.J. Keir the final 30 in this first preseason game. About 2/3 of the way full the stands are. Just in front of us, stands on the far side of the ice. Near side is just 2 scissor lifts for the broadcasters, Ken and I over here. Puck dumped down for an icing call by Minot. 10 seconds to go in the first period. And perhaps one more draw in the Minot zone to coach Schur's either left or right. Bobcats will pick which hash they want it, which circle. Linesman holds both his hands out. And, well, they don't know. He's saying which side, which side. Patrick Johnson wants to get the decision in. They still don't have one, and now Patty points to the far circle, to the goalie's left. So 10 to go in the first period. Paul Hughlin takes the faceoff. Nick Sawecki beats him in the faceoff circle, but Johnson has the puck in the far corner, hit by Constantine with 5 to go. Dug loose to Martin for Minot. Clears it far wing off of Nick Bear with 2 seconds won. There's the horn, and that's all for the first period here in the war in Watford City. So the Bobcats 2, Minot nothing, on goals by Brandon Reller and Evan Hunter. Only one penalty on Minot's Nico Hannison, a check from behind, and the Bobcat power play was unsuccessful. Minot did not have their power play go to work in the first period. So the first intermission begins, and we'll wait for Hunter Laszlo to come back and give us his thoughts on this first period. I don't want to let our camera guy out and have Laz come back. It'd be a whole mess with the scissor lift. It's a challenge here in the preseason. By the way, the Bobcats look really good in that first period, especially the first 10 minutes. I'm sure Laz will say, we slow down a little bit. Certainly the case, but can't complain too much. When you score 2 goals, you score on the first minute 40 or so with Brandon Reller. You know, a guy, there's Minot scissor lift going down. But can't complain too much when you score 2 in the first period. And Leonard Zlipsky's faces very few shots, especially in the first 10 minutes or so. By the time the Bobcats built their 2-0 lead, I can't imagine that even 5 shots were on goal against Lipsky's. We don't have shots on goal here at the Rough Rider Center. The video board's behind us on the near side of the ice. But either way, a good start for the Bobcats here. All right, Hunter Laszlo wants to come out, so we're going to lower the scissor lift here. Let's figure this out. Here we go. Now it goes down. Long way to go. Probably should have gone to break for this. All right, scissor lift is down. And Hunter Laszlo picks up the headset. Coming up here. All right, Laz, do you have me?
Yep.
All right. How many times have your broadcasters gone on scissor lifts over your hockey career?
I have to say this is the first time. I didn't know how I was going to do this with you, but thankfully you came down to somewhat close to my level. But yeah, it's a first.
Yeah, that was a good start to the first period. Couple of goals in the first 10 minutes or so. Evan Hunter and Brandon Reller there.
Yeah, good start on the offensive side. Definitely think our D zone needs a lot of cleaning up. A lot of sloppy plays on our half wall. Forced a couple too many pucks trying to exit our zone. Mismanaged the puck a couple times in our neutral zone as well. The offensive zone I was happy with. Thought we possessed the puck. That 2-minute power play we had, possessed it for a full 2 minutes. Got to hem their kill out there for an entire power play. So that's a bonus. Got some good looks off of it. Thought we moved the puck well, but definitely need to clean up that D zone. We can't keep giving them chances with the puck on our stick.
Seems like Leonard Zlipsky's faced, like 5 shots in the first 10 minutes or so by the time you had that 2-0 lead. Do you feel like he'd want more shots on net just to get him loose?
I think anytime you can keep pucks away from your goaltender, it's a good thing. It means you're obviously keeping them to the outside, not giving up too many shots from the middle. I think he probably played the puck 15 times that period.
He did.
Off dumps. But again, we're forcing dumps, which is a bonus. I just think when we put ourselves in trouble, we had the puck on our own stick trying to exit the zone. It wasn't something they were doing. It was our own mistakes that almost cost us a chance here. But again, happy to be up 2-0 going into the second period.
Compared to where you guys were at last year when you went to Watford, obviously 13 returners this year, only half as many last year. How do you think the guys have responded after a long offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's got that taste in their mouth from Game 60 last year, still against Minot. Obviously, in-state rival and one that just keeps building every single time these two teams meet. So I know those returners for sure still have that taste in their mouth of that feeling of knocking them out in Game 60 and obviously giving us our playoff berth. So for the new guys, I think they're getting welcomed into the rivalry really quickly here. A couple of hits and being physical and chippy, that's how these games are, but so far so good.
All right, Laz, thank you.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, that's after 1. Hunter Laszlo taking off the headset, and the Bobcats have a 2-0 lead over Minot. First intermission is underway. We'll come back with more Bobcat hockey. This is Bobcat Hockey on Cool 98.7. And the Bobcats are out to a 2-0 lead after one period of play at the Rough Rider Center in Watford City. Shots on goal are the Bobcats 11 and Minot 5 through the first period. So estimation of 5 shots in the first 10 minutes. That was 5 shots for the entire period up on the board at center ice. After one period of play, Bobcats scoring 2 goals. Brandon Reller in the first couple of minutes. And a few minutes after that, Evan Hunter scored the second goal, both at even strength. As the Bobcats got a power play, had their first line out for the entire 2 minutes, and as a result, Minot's penalty kill couldn't change much. A lot of tired bodies out there, got a couple of chances, but no goals. And Bismarck holds a 2-0 lead after the first period of play from Watford City. About 12 minutes left in our first intermission before the two teams take the ice once again. Well, the Bobcats had a phenomenal end to a regular season last year that saw them win just 29 games. There were 29, 27, and 4, so counting overtime losses, some more losses than wins. But on the final day of the regular season, the only game left to play in the North American Hockey League, the Bobcats took on Minot in a winner-take-all game at the Mesa Arena, Game 60. That was on a Monday night, and the Bobcats won the game 5-1, by far the biggest game in the regular season, really of the entire Minot and Bismarck rivalry ever played. And the Bobcats, despite a 1-1 tie midway through, got a couple of goals in the span of a minute and added a couple empty netters to a 5-1 win. That knocked Minot out of the playoffs after the Toros were in first place on New Year's Day, and the Bobcats were about 20 points behind them and as many as 12 points out of a playoff spot on February 12th. They were 11 points behind 5th place on February 12th, but the Bobcats got hot, won a whole bunch of games that you could tell was going to happen. You could tell the Bobcats were getting better and better as the year went along, but the Bobcats make the playoffs, and they lose to St. Cloud in 5 games in what was a series that saw the Bobcats play 4 consecutive 1-goal games. The only blowout was game number 1. St. Cloud won that game 4-1, but 4 consecutive 1-goal games in that series. Bobcats were 5 minutes away and a 1-goal lead in game 4, but St. Cloud came back to tie it, force overtime, win game 4 in overtime in Bismarck, and won game 5 3-2 in St. Cloud. So a lot's going to be, remembered between these two teams, especially all the returners. A lot of the familiar faces in this rivalry are more so on the Bobcat side. 13 returners versus only 8 for Minot. That includes a couple of guys who played minimal numbers of games, were brought on and either adding a roster at the end situation, a tender ad as they call it, bring guys in who are called up for next year, or have players be stopgaps. Minot was very active in the second half of last year trying to find a solution that worked and keep their fledgling playoff hopes alive at that point. But everyone who was involved in Game 60 will not forget it, and it certainly could lead to something with the guys who are still on the ice today. Granted, it would probably be more remembered if there were more Minotians, more Minotauros on the ice from last year in this game, as opposed to the Bobcats having over a dozen returners and Minot about half the number. But either way, these games come on the heels. Keep in mind, the Bobcats and Toros played 2 times in the preseason and 12 regular season games every year pretty much. So a total of 14 times just between now and April. And keep in mind, all the events of last April and the Bobcats stealing Minot's playoff spot, winning that winner-take-all game, are not going to be forgotten amongst these teams and could lead to an overdose of physicality and just a rivalry state of the game. In the first period, there weren't any real fisticuffs. Drew Holt got involved in some pushing and shoving near the goal, but a few big hits, and that was it. Not much as far as the chippiness is concerned. You could say the Bobcats and Aberdeen had a more chippy scrimmage series back on Tuesday, especially in Game 2. We'll see how things boil over in Game 2 tomorrow here in Watford City. But things really get going for the Bobcats in the season. Their first 4 games of the year are 2 at Aberdeen, then a home and home against Minot. That's following the showcase that's September 23rd through October 1st. Bobcats open the season at home October 1st. That's their home opener, but 3 road games before that. all rivalry games and all teams that Bobcats don't like. And when you have so many people coming back, 13 players, coming back from one season to the next, a playoff berth kind of a season, a magical run for the Bobcats, they pick up some grievances, some rivalries along the way. You don't need to indoctrinate, hey, we don't like Aberdeen, we don't like Minot. No, the players know that. And there's no question that just over the course of this past week, all the new guys who have not played Bobcat hockey or North American Hockey League hockey have certainly come to know these are the teams the Bobcats don't like. And keep in mind this too, for 56 games out of the year, you're playing a total of 5 teams. You can get sick and tired of playing teams, and especially with this season and the quirks, and we'll talk about the scheduling quirks sometime later on in this weekend, but there are multiple instances of the Bobcats and a certain team playing each other in back-to-back weekends, 4 games in a row. The last 6 games of the Bobcat season, all against one team, and that's North Iowa. So if that's a playoff race, it's going to be a quite heated one. Bobcats get done with Minot with about a month or so to go in the season. So a total flip of scheduling compared to last year, and we'll see how that all unfolds too. But things have unfolded to a Bobcat 2-0 lead after one period from the Rough Rider Center in Watford City. We will come back for period number 2. This is Bobcat Hockey on Cool 98.7. Second period underway from the Rough Riders Center in Watford City. Back here on Cool 98.7. Bobcats have a 2-0 lead over Minot. First play comes back in the Bobcat zone. Weston Knox for the Toros. Tries to play it on back. It's intercepted by Paul Hughlin. Roseville, Minnesota native for the Bobcats finds Drew Holt on the right wing from Eden Prairie. And the puck is kept in by Hunter Longy, the ex-Bobcat. High shot is stopped down low off the legs of Hughlin, taken by Holt. And rolled around the far boards behind the Bobcat goal. Michael Newmeyer starts up ice with Nick Bear. And from center, Joseph for the Toro snaps it off for Longy. For the defense of Knox, gets it ahead, and it's tipped in by LaPinta. Chase LaPinta, Arizona State committed, 18 years of age. Got the puck in deep. The Bobcats Hughlin gets pressed to the boards at center ice. And a whistle comes down as the Bobcats dump it in. Near the bench, they are called for icing. Dylan Zobel, the referee, making sure all 5 Bobcats who were on the ice are back on. And they're going to pull all 5 out. Brandon Reller tried to get over the bench. He's still on the ice for the face-off, but he'll be asked to leave. And he smiles with his mouth guard hanging out as he comes back. So Hughlin, Holt, and Johnson with Bear and Newmeyer. Bobcats win the face-off. They get it ahead. It's kept in left point by Jan Kasper Bergman. Comes down the near boards and shoots one out of play. Off of Nick Bear's stick, and ramps up and out. Bobcats can make a change, and they'll get their line of Nico Chmielewski, Brandon Reller, and Evan Hunter, line number 2. The line responsible for both Bobcats goals. Reller the first goal, and Hunter the second. On defense, Chase Beacom, Trevor Mitchell. So 4 of the 5 Bobcats on the ice, save for Hunter, who was in the USHL with Chicago. All Bobcats last year, and the experience can be a really good thing. Puck is dumped in by Nico Chmielewski. The Toros' Nico Hannison took a penalty back in the first period. Outlets on, and Trevor Stahowiak gets by Beacom. Mitchell whacks it away from him. Torrey Lund keeps the puck in the far corner and takes it around the back of the Bobcat goal. Up top, Bergman shoots. Down low, blocked in the legs of Beacom. A block shot with his stick. Don't see it too much from Beacom. He normally ticks it off his chest. The Bobcat leading shot blocker. They get it deep, but the Toros pull the puck out. Lund near wing to center. Coming up on Mitchell, gets it by him, but no possession. Beacom glides behind the Bobcat goal. Helps out for Mitchell. And the Bobcats get away off of Hunter's skates to the right wing, and the puck comes down for an icing call. Well, Hunter, a guy the Bobcats are really excited about, scored the Bismarck second goal back in that first period. Out of Appleton, Wisconsin, 18 years of age, played a full season in the USHL, just 27 games, so a half a year games played wise, had 1 goal, but was with the Chicago Steel for the full season, learning from, obviously, so many great guys, great hockey players with the Steel, and knowing you have 3 years of junior hockey eligibility left. Bobcats pick him up in the offseason, and hopefully a Bobcat to stay. Hunter on the ice with Nico, getting it out of the zone. Nate Mann shoots back in for Minot. Began the year last year as an Aberdeen wing, Nate Mann. Then went to the El Paso Rhinos. Minot picked him up in a trade with El Paso. That also got Lassie Letty, their second goaltender, from El Paso to Minot last year. Nolan Nenow for the Bobcat shoots wide left. Stick side on the goaltender Couture. Bismarck's Eddie Shepler, right half boards up top, right point. Simmons shoots. It's stopped off a deflection low, with Nenow screening the goal. And Dane Couture scoops it up. 17:27 to go in the second period. Bobcats the only 2 goals tonight over Minot. Leonard Zlipski is still in the Bobcat goal to our left in this long change second period. Shepler on the ice with Nenow and Dahl on either wing. Eddie playing center. Takes the face-off, wins it back. Simmons, a slap shot. Save it, rides up the body. Loose in front, kicked by Nenow, who was locked up in front of the goal by Weston Knox. And the sparring may have saved a Bobcat goal, thanks to Weston Knox. Pearls get it in, but offside. No touch. As Ben Johnson got it deep. And the Bobcats, Ian Engel skates from full ice left to right. Over the far wing of the Minot zone with Shepler to his left. Nenow behind the Minot goal plays it. And the Bobcats do not support him. Nenow spins away from O'Hannison, who gets it along. And Minot can't clear it. Now it comes out. So Engel tracks it back, looks over his shoulder, sees Joe Westland forechecking, but he backs off, plays only at the face-off dot. Engel behind the goal, comes up on Westland, with Minot to his left, Dahl to his right, and at the center right zone, it's Scheffler shooting it off the left boards and in. Dahl the lone forechecker, Bobcats change behind him, and the Toros outman Dahl and take the puck to the high slot now to the zone. Michael Neumeier plays back with Jackson Ekblad. Neumeier 6'2", Ekblad 6'4". Ekblad the Williston Coyote. But it's Neumeier skating up left to right, a good offensive D-man, drags by one. Toro to the far wing, and he wraps it around the board, stopped by John O'Hoynes. With UC Malmi at the right point, it's thrown back in, and the Toros control. Minot comes out of the zone. UC Malmi playing here with John O'Hoynes and Everett Patilla. Minot with the puck. It's lobbed up top left point for Bergman. Feeds to the right, O'Hannison. Shoots to the right corner. Joseph, a shot, save, covered up on a quick rebound in front of the goal by Martin. It's held on to by Leonard Lipskis. He makes the stop. Lipskis, one of 3 Bobcat goaltending candidates to replace Oscar Spinars Nordin, who last year became a legend in the city of Bismarck and really the entire Bobcat sphere. Started over 30 consecutive games, a Bobcat record. Was incredible in the playoffs. The reliable goaltender who did not miss a minute from mid-January onwards. Led the Bobcats in goal to the playoffs, stole them some games. Had a year left of eligibility if you wanted it. And after early indications were he might come back, it had been written as such. Oscar gets a deal late in the summer to go play professional hockey in his home country of Sweden. Sure hope he's doing well. Bobcats come in. Nick Bear, a left wing shot on a backhand, goes around the Minot goal. Kept in right point, Mitchell, down to the right corner. It's played to the point by Minot, and kept in by Drew Holt away from Hunter Longy. High slot Hughlin spins to his right, in the right face-off circle, and into the corner for Johnson. Gets away from Joseph, who went down to his knees and lost one of his gloves. Johnson spins left corner for Holt. Up top, Mitchell, he shoots. Sticked away by Dane Couture to his left, the right corner, on the near wing for the Bobcats. Bobcats hold, misses a check on Joseph. Wound around by Minot, kept in by Nick Bear. And the Toros control, wind it around to the right. Mitchell keeps that, and it's out muscled by Longy. Comes up 2-on-1, moving in left with LaPinta. He moves and gives it across. They score! Longy to LaPinta. Chase LaPinta scores. The 18-year-old for Minot gets them on the board on a 2-on-1 rush. It's 2-1 with 14:42 to go in the second period. So the Bobcats couldn't keep the right point. Longy muscled it right by a Bobcat at the point. Had LaPinta going to his right. Longy took it all the way in below the hash marks on the near circle. Gave it across the bottom of the crease. No chance as it got right by Leonard Lipskis. And Chase LaPinta gets the goal home. Minot gets on the board. They have scored first in the second period. They dump the puck in, but offside off the faceoff. So the Minot goal for Chase LaPinta, 18-year-old from Frisco, Texas, out of the esteemed Shattuck St. Mary's School program in Minnesota. With Hunter Longy, the Minnesota Magician, beg your pardon, with the assist on the play. Longy from Southern Illinois. A former Bobcat playing for his 4th North American League team in 4 years. Bobcats go in the zone. Far wing, it's Brandon Reller with Nico Chmielewski and Evan Hunter. And Minot controls. They start right to left and come out with Stahowiak being poke checked by Ian Engel. Comes in with Reller across the Minot line, and the puck given away high slot for Stahowiak. He gets it out near wing, gets the puck. Coming up with Lund to his right. Stahowiak crosses right, shoots. A wrister stopped. And the catching glove of Lipskis into his chest, and he shoves a Toro who was hanging out in the goal crease, Justin Dauphiné. A native of Ontario for Minot. Just kind of hanging out in the top of the crease. Lipskis right, and Leonard's shoves him with the blocker, saying, that's my ice, don't take it. 13:56 to go in the second period. Bobcats 2, Minot 1. The goal by Chase LaPinta for Minot in this period. Bobcats getting goals from Brandon Reller and Evan Hunter. Bobcats win a face-off in the defensive zone, give it away. Johnson shoots. It's a Ben Johnson shot for Minot, covered up by Lipski's. A chest-high catch. The shots on goal through one period were 11-5 in Bismarck's favor. But much more even here in the second. Minot's been the better team offensively. They've gotten the only goal in the second period. They win a face-off in the Bobcat zone. It's bumped to the point, but given away. Eddie Shepler had it raked off his stick by Owen Hansen, who tries to corral him down, but Dahl plays the puck for the Bobcats. Outlets toward Nenau, picked off. It's back of the Bobcat zone for Mitch Simmons. Simmons from Raleigh, North Carolina. Big defenseman plays left, and Michael Newmeyer shoots cross quarter right. Onside and no icing on the play. And Minot pulls the puck out in the high slot. They come up break to left with Cooper Rice. Vermont native loses control. Bobcat Shepler out for Nenau through the far circle. It's back to the point for Newmeyer. Spins off a Hansen check. Comes to the high slot, backhanded right. Dahl, a backhand pass across, blocked by Ben Johnson. On a good back checking play. Newmeyer keeps along at the right point, pinching down. Dahl, right side circle, holds, gives it a cross, blocked off the goaltender's leg pads. To Kucher's right. Far point for Simmons, plays down low. Into the high slot goes Nenau, right wing for Newmeyer. He holds onto it now and shoots, blocked high over the end boards and the glass and out of play. Face off in Minot defensive territory. 12:49 to go in the second period. Well, certainly a question coming into this preseason series, Bobcats and Minot, was after all the events of last year, the Bobcats and Minot playing a winner-take-all game, game 60 of 60 at the Mesa Arena. And the Bobcats winning it to snatch Minot's playoff spot away and make the Robertson Cup playoffs once again. Here's a right wing shot. That's a stop by Couture off UC Mulmy for the Bobcats in the right circle. Face off in the offensive zone again. Well, the question would be, after all those events, and I'm sure the sour taste in the mouth, as Hunter Laszlo brought up during the break, what would the temperature be? Well, so far we don't really know. Bobcats win the face-off. A left wing turnaround shot by John O'Hoynes is blocked by Joe Westland. A slider along the ice. And the Toros have the puck. They lob it ahead and get it out. A puck tumbling on its side, and getting to it first is Joe Westland. Comes in with O'Hannes and gets the pass. He scores! Another on-man rush. And again, two returners get involved. Nick O'Hannesson gets the goal for Minot. He had just one goal all last season for Minot, but a two-way defenseman by trade. Gets the pass from Joe Westland. Left circle to the top of the goal crease. Left side of Lipski's our right. And the Toros have tied the game 2-2. 12:26 to go in the second period of play from Watford City. So a great start, you think. The Bobcats' offense don't look so bad. Losing plenty of their top scorers from last year. And the Minot offense has countered them. They've gotten both their goals back in the second period. And not even at the midway point. Minot gains offside. Goals by Chase LaPinta and Nick O'Hannesson. O'Hannesson from Troy, Michigan. Minot wins the face-off and shoots in. And on neither opportunity for Lipski's did he have much of a play for a save. And went across the crease. Pretty much at the top of the goal crease where Lipski's had not been occupied. Nothing he could do on both shots. Toros come through center. It's a 3-on-2. Joe Westland waits for an onside play of Joe Blackley, but he has to wait behind, and Westland's dispossessed by Patrick Johnson. Moves up 3-on-3. With Hughlin and Holt. Puck is off the right glass, high, taken by Holt, feeds left, Johnson shoots, he scores! Well, the Bobcats take the lead right back. Patrick Johnson scores his first this preseason. Bobcats 3, Toros 2. 11:36 to go in the second period. Well, the Bobcat first line for this game of Johnson, Drew Holt, and Paul Hughlin go to work. The puck came to the right side of the slot, and a quick pass across from wing to wing. Johnson gets the puck, lefty on the left circle, elevates it by the blocker and the stick of the Minot goaltender Dane Couture. It's 3-2. Bobcats back in front, halfway through the game. So Patrick Johnson, Bobcat co-captain. An assist from Drew Holtz. Johnson was one of the Bobcat top returning performers. Colby Joseph shot from the left point, stopped by Lipsky's. Play in the far wing in the Bobcat zone. Taken away by Joseph, feeds right in the shot quickly. And stopped. Weston Knox letting it go. And Lipsky's holds on. 11:09 to go in the second. Well, Johnson scored 16 goals in 50 games last year, 31 points, which makes him one of the Bobcat top returning scorers. Around that 30-point mark, plenty of Bobcats ending up at that point. Calvin Hansen last year as well. Just primed for a big year as Johnson. Second year as the captain. He and Nico Chmielewski this year. And with the Bobcats losing guys like Quinn Rudhood, who scored 30 goals, Shake McLean nearly 60 points. Here's Nico coming in, right wing. Here's Chmielewski. Looks to play it back toward the corner. It's picked off by Joseph. And the Toros start through center ice. On the right wing, Longy drops it back. Knox comes in the zone with LaPinta. And Evan Hunter, strong defensively, gets it out of the zone. The Bobcat forward. Minot shoots it right back in. Well, with Rudhood and McLean gone, Adam Patilla, who is a tremendous scorer for a grinder, in-your-face kind of guy. He's with Sioux City right now. Johnson's going to be one of quite a few Bobcats who had modest years, good years, going to have great years. Big pile up in the far corner, Bobcat zone. They're in 3-on-3. On the left wing, it's Nico with Reller behind him. Chmielewski's closed off. It's wound around by Minot, kept in by Hunter, right corner. He scored the Bobcats' second goal today. Reller, Hunter, and Johnson, the Bobcats 3. Toros come in, Bobcats lead by 1. Lund plays it behind the Bobcat goal. Shepler takes it out front and clears it away with his feet. Comes up with Reller and Hunter. They go off for changes now. Shepler can't get past the line. It's jabbed on out. And back to the Bobcat zone for Jackson Ekblad. Williston native on defense. And the Bobcats have changed up now. Shepler does stay on as Newmeyer holds and shoots blocked high. And a play in the mesh behind the Minot goal and Dane Couture. So immediate timeout here in Watford City. 9:41 to go in the second period. It's the Bobcats 3 and Minot 2. We'll come back in 30 seconds. This is Bobcat Hockey on Cool 98.7. Midway second period, 9:41 to go. It's the Bobcats in the lead over Minot 3-2. As Patrick Johnson has given the Bobcats a 3-2 lead. After Minot scored a couple of goals to start this second period. Goals by Chase LaPinta and Nick O'Hannison. But Johnson responds right back. The Bobcats, the only team who's led so far in the game, and just over the halfway mark. The Bobcats do not make a goaltending change. CJ Keir is on the bench. He's sitting up as if expecting to come in. But Lipsky stays on, as does Dean Couture. This would normally be the point, the 30-minute mark, when the two teams changed goaltenders at least last year in the preseason. Not so far. Bobcats win a face-off. Newmeyer shoots a left point shot. He's stopped by Couture to his right. Much better here in the second period. Bobcats were doubling Minot in shots back in the first. Toros go out to center ice as Ekblad goes down for the Bobcats. Lund gets by Shepler, but Newmeyer controls. Tall defenseman from Carrobert, Saskatchewan, comes up the far wing. His pass to the line was intercepted and shot back in by Dauphiné for Minot, Justin Dauphiné from Ontario. And on the far boards, Ninow. Jamestown Blue Jay gets it to the right point. Nate Mann shoots back in. And the Bobcats, Jackson Ekblad's back on it. Ekblad's played plenty of games at the VFW Sports Center, the Bobcats' home rink, as a member of the Williston Coyotes. Keep in mind, there are 3 high school teams in Bismarck. And we carry many of them here on Super Talk 1270 and Cool 98.7. We've had Ekblad on the airwaves before. nothing new for him. But Ekblad's first foray into Bobcat hockey was here at Watford City about a year ago in 2021. Bobcats are offside coming in. It was September 11th of last year. The Bobcats had just beaten Minot in Dickinson 6-3. They came to Watford City and brought in this 17-year-old tall high school kid from nearby Williston named Jackson Ekblad. They plant the seed of getting Ekblad out here by having him play in a preseason game, and Jackson admits, I just felt giddy being in the locker room, just behind the bench here at a beautiful rink with a bunch of junior players, and I'm only a high school senior. Bobcats Beacom shoots. It's off the blocker on the right hand of the goaltender Couture. Bobcats get the puck in and get it around to the right wing. UC Malmy to the point. It's away from Patillo. Whacked at by Hoynes. The shot goes wide left. On a roller along the ice, kept in by Hoynes again to the far circle. Hoynes can't move by Hansen with no luck. Owen Hansen. Beacom comes down the boards, gets tripped up, and a penalty coming up on Minot. Well, Beacom hopped down the boards, and the stick was in his way of a Toro, and that's Cooper Rice, the forward. Vermont native goes off for 2 minutes for a trip. 8:05 to go in the second, and the Bobcats to a Skills Electric power play, up 3-2. But for Ekblad, it was just a surreal thing. Wanting to play junior hockey, of course, that's the goal of so many standout high school players. Bobcats call them up and say, hey, we're playing right in your backyard pretty much. Come out and play for us. He does, and on the first possible day that Ekblad can sign as a Bobcat, he does. And here he is in the preseason. A spot not guaranteed, though, for anyone on this Bobcat group. Bobcats win a face-off. Nico Chmielewski on the power play. Redler bumps it down low, and Shepler had to go past his stick along with Paul Hugler. Bobcats' second power play line begins with Beacom at the point. Shepler, Nico, Reller, and Paul Hugler. To the right point, here's Chase Beacom. Backs up from the top of the right circle to the point. Plays left through Shepler's legs. A puck up in the air. Eddie corrals it. Harassed by two Toros, but he keeps the puck. Right wing for Nico Chmielewski. Down to the right circle from the dot. Shoots. A glove save and a cover by Dane Couture. Early on, only 30 seconds off the clock on the Bobcat power play, which is 0 for 1 so far today. And following that short shift by the Beacom-led second line, the Bobcats' first line goes back to work. Newmeyer from the point with Johnson, Malmy, Holt, and Hunter on the power play. Keep in mind, with not everybody playing for both these teams, these power play units are not final by any means. Bobcats win a face-off. It's across the line, and Johnson couldn't keep it. It's out of the zone, far boards. Owen Hansen for Minot chasing it, but Hunter gets past him, survives a couple of whacks on the chest from Owen Hansen. Arm stays down by the referee, and the Bobcats control. Halfway gone to the power play, leading 3-2, second period. 7:05 to go in the period. Michael Newmeyer glides his way in, weaves in left, goes behind the Bobcat offensive goal for Malmy. The Finnish forward, UC Malmy, up for Johnson. Right side for Newmeyer, into the circle, lost the puck. And on a skittering puck on its edge, it rolls outside the line. Johnson backs up to his territory. And feeds for Newmeyer, across the rink left. Johnson, an open far wing, comes in the Minot zone. Waggles on O'Hannison, fakes a dump around the boards. He got spilled by O'Hannison. In fact, both went down. To the right point, Newmeyer holds and looks. It's wide of Holt's stick, no tip, and wide of the goal as well. Holt juggles the puck, keeps it in far point, Newmeyer. Walks and gives it down low for Holt, bumps it for Evan Hunter. Into the left circle he goes, to the far corner for Holt. Has Johnson backdoor, Malmy in the slot. Out wide left for Hunter. Up top, Newmeyer. Power play winding down for the Bobcats. Hunter into the left circle. Moves down low, comes in front, and his shot came across the goal crease. Johnson not there to tip it in, backdoor. Johnson and Hunter go in for a puck 2-on-2 scrum. As the power play comes to an end, back to 5-on-5. Bobcats 0 for 2, and Rice leaves the box. Johnson feeds left, though. Here's a pass across, blocked on goal and stopped on a diving play, belly up by Dane Couture, the goaltender. With a clock at 5:59 in the second period. I wonder if, with both goaltenders who began the game are still in, if both teams will just have each goaltender, all three of their goalies, play 2 periods. Have CJ Kier play the third period today and the first tomorrow, but no mid-game changes this time. Face off in the Minot zone, won by the Bobcats. Ian Engel on the ice, feeds left for Chmielewski, a shot. He's juggled and stopped by Couture and spun down the ice. Would be icing, but it dies short of the goal line. And Engel back to pick up the puck. So Ian Engel goes left. Chmielewski far boards across to the right wing for Kyle Dahl. Lakeville native goes in right and feeds across the way. It was blocked to the legs of Joe Blackley. Up to the point, Engel. Left point keep. Down below the goal line for Dahl with Nico and Ninau on the ice. Here's Chmielewski right wing. Bobcat co-captain looks the lefty, feeds across, away from Ninau off his foot. And the Toros lob on ahead for Lund. Over the Bobcat line goes Torrey Lund. And through the corner, the Bobcats take it off his stick. Nick Bear gets back defensively. Out of Minnetonka, Minnesota. Gets the puck from Dahl. Goes it down the right wing with Ninau. Ninau takes the puck into the right corner. Through his legs, Blackley sidesteps him and walls him up, but Nico fights through a check of Toro Dauphiné. Comes to the right point, out of the zone. It's taken by Lund. Moves up with LaPinta and Blackley. Toro's called off for changes. Bobcats steal it. 2-on-1 coming up. On the right wing, Patilla with Dahl. He shoots wide left. Just missed the far post. Puck kept in, Chase Beacom. Waggles and feeds down to the right. It's away from Everett Patilla. Adam Patilla's cousin. Hard-nosed, gritty Bobcat last year and a great scorer. A keep in by John O'Hoyne. Shot goes over the Minot goal and off the end boards. Covered up into the glove of the goaltender Dane Couture. Out of Little Falls High School in Minnesota, Dane Couture, just north of St. Cloud. Some local talent too amongst these two teams. Bobcats have a couple of really intriguing local prospects from North Dakota. Jackson Ekblad at the right point for this face-off, which John O'Hoynes will take from Williston. And Noah Ninau, the top scorer in the entire state of North Dakota high school hockey last year with the Jamestown Blue Jays, the Western champions, as a Bobcat as well. Hunter Longy from Minot shoots. A save made between the legs of Lenars Lipsky. Bobcats have the rebound 3-on-2. Sam Blanton right wing from Jackson Ekblad. Looks to shimmy around Toro and can't do it. As he shoves Jan Kasper Bergman. Minot lobs it down. It comes below the goal line. Icing not called. It was off a stick, a high stick in fact. And on the Ekblad touch behind his goal crease, it's a whistle to send the face-off back. .3:59 to go, second period. Bobcats in front, 3-2 over Minot. Fans of all three kinds here at the Rough Rider Center in Watford City. About 2/3 of the way full. Stands behind both benches. Bobcat fans, Minot fans, and just locals here to support, just to see some hockey in their attendance. The only junior hockey to come through Watford City. Bobcats and Toros coming here for a fourth year, and go back to the first one 3 years ago. It was like a true pro team was coming in town for an exhibition. Live music before the first one, sellout crowd, and the crowd last year was great too. It'll be great tomorrow night on a Saturday here in Watford. Puck is dumped in by Minot. Lenard Lipsky's the Bobcat goaltender, winds it around the far boards. It kicks toward the middle, and Evan Hunter starts up with Eddie Shepler. Hunter high slot crossing, shoots, glove save and a cover on a tricky high shot by Dane Couture. He holds on as Shepler has some jawboning in the goal crease, as we often see from Eddie, as he crashed the goal and some Toros had words for him. Joe Blackley, one of them, and he gets off for a change. The Bobcats keep Eddie's line out with Kyle Dahl and Nolan Ninau. Usually at least, but he is taking Nico Chmielewski's spot on line too, with Brandon Veller and Evan Hunter for the shift. Simmons and Mitchell in back, a couple of big D-men. Bobcats don't lack much size on defense. Mitchell shoots, so little lob up is stopped by Minot, carried out for a three-man rush, 3-on-3. Nick Sawecki feeds middle for Westland, drags to the goal, comes in front, he rolls into the goal crease. A penalty coming up behind the play as the near post comes off the moorings, and the Bobcats are called for a hook. Well, Mitchell on the back check, Trevor Mitchell called for the hooking penalty, which was in part why Joe Westland ended up colliding with the near post and sending it flying. Posts are on tight here on the Marsh Pegs in Watford City, unlike some rinks where they're just on magnets. Takes a good amount to jar the post off. It was a big collision. So the Bobcats do a penalty kill for the first time in this war in Watford City. Leading Minot 3-2, late third period. Paul Hughlin takes a face-off in the Bobcat zone. Dauphiné for Minot opposes him. Bobcats lose the puck near boards. Dauphiné up top for Jan Kasper Bergman to run the point. Blackley to the right wing. Held on by Ben Johnson, back for Joe Blackley. Here's Bergman left, shooting. Blocked down low by Newmeyer to the near boards. Dauphiné comes in with Rice in front for Minot. It's 4 new guys and Ben Johnson to run the point. Bergman left wing, away from Drew Holt. In there with Beacom, Newmeyer, and Hughlin on the penalty kill for the Bobcats. Girls win the puck race left wing. Bergman shoots, sticked away by Leonard Slipskis, the Latvian in goal for the Bobcats. Here's Johnson. And Johnson far point, keeps the puck and gave it away. Beacom shoots it off the legs of Ben Johnson. Dauphiné down for him, Rice back door. Feeds it across, blocked off the stick of Newmeyer, and the puck elevates out of play in the near circle. Face off will come back in the Bobcat defensive zone. Cooper Rice just hanging out back door for the Toros. And the Bobcats' Michael Newmeyer closing the gap, getting the puck off his leg. And into the mesh for a face-off. 2:31 to go second period. Bobcats lead Minot 3-2. Killing a penalty for a minute plus now. Minute 15 left on the kill. Patrick Johnson lost a face-off. Hunter Longy feeds it back. Nico Henderson shoots. Right toe save. A kick out by the Bobcat Slipskis, and the puck leaves the zone as Bismarck clears with Nick Baer. Baer with angle defensively. A pair of first-year guys. And the Bobcats' 2 co-captains, Chmielewski and Johnson, up front. Nico, dogged work in the Minot zone. Locks up with O'Hannison and Longy. The first line now wins it away. Chase Lapinta comes up with Longy and Joseph and Stahowiak, 4 forwards, 1D. Lapinta sidesteps a check. Stahowiak whacked, puck comes high slot. Longy keeps the puck left circle, shooting, save, loose in front to the high slot for Lapinta. Backs up to the high slot, shoots, blocked out of play off Nico Chmielewski. Off his knees to the far corner and out. And the Bobcats, perhaps not willingly, blocking plenty of shots on this penalty kill. Just getting in lanes and not going in shot blocking positions, but putting their bodies in the shooting lanes. That time Nico blocks the shot with 32 seconds left on the Bobcat penalty kill, their first tonight. Their PK last season was 82%, a respectable number. They were one of the best in the league at home. Bobcats in the defensive zone. Nolan Nenow far wing, gets it along for Newmeyer, starts up with Dahl. Could be a 2-on-1, it is. Dahl on the right wing, heels the puck off his leg, and Dahl controls behind the Minot goal, wraps it around, and it gets away from Stahowiak at the line. And the Bobcats, Newmeyer backs up to his zone, retreats further and clears down the full length to kill some more time. 5 to go on the Minot power play as Mitchell will leave in 2 seconds 1. Now he's out of the box, rejoins the play, and comes off to the bench for a change. 1:15 to go in the period. Puck thrown across by Longy in the Bobcat zone for Minot. It's wound around and out. Kyle Dahl, right wing for the Bobcats, takes the puck over the Minot line. Swept away by Toro Constantine. To the corner. Final minute, second period. Bobcats 3, Minot 2. In the Minot zone to the right point, Simmons shoots a chest save to the right by Dane Couture. Beacom activates, keeps the puck, far corner. Rolls it toward the right, UC Malmy on the play. On the right half boards comes out to Malmy. The finish forward, looks to feed for Patilla down low. Bigger pardon, John O'Hoynes. Hoynes plays the puck here, right wing. Blanton centers away from Malmy. Up to the high slot, Beacom, he shoots. Tumbling puck goes high, whacked off the side of the goal. As Nico and Simmons retreat, Lapinta clears for Minot with 21 to go in the period. Simmons rink wide left, in the Minot zone goes Malmy. He shoots, wide of the goal, on the stick side of Couture. Bobcat Sam Blanton keeps, native of Dallas, Texas, into the right corner. Bobcats play further with Simmons, walks to his left at the right point, 7 to go in the period. Simmons holds on, Reller can't get a shot away. He swings and misses. 2 to go in the period, wraparound try is stopped off John O'Hoynes' stick, and that retires period number 2. Minot scores twice in the period, but the Bobcats, following the game being tied, get the tie-breaking goal with Patrick Johnson to make it 3-2 at the end of 40 minutes of play. So third period coming up, and Minot's backup goaltender, Carlito, a Swede, is taking some warm-ups. I'd imagine they'll switch goaltenders both teams for the beginning of period 3. We'll come back and recap the second period and the entire game to this point as the Bobcats lead Minot 3-2 after 40 minutes of play. This is Bismarck Bobcats hockey on Cool 98.7. Back in Watford City at the Rough Riders Center, where the Bobcats lead Minot 3-2. In the second intermission, Bobcats get 3 goals in the game, 2 in the first period. Brandon Reller in the first minute 40 or so. Then Evan Hunter later in that period, the Bobcat rookie, 18-year-old. And in the second period, Minot scored a couple of goals to tie it. Goals by Chase LaPinta and Nick O'Hannison. It was tied 2-2 midway through, but Bismarck gets the go-ahead goal with Patrick Johnson on assist from Drew Holt. The Bobcat first line going to work and scoring, for now, the go-ahead goal. It's the Bobcats in front 3-2. Shots on goal in the second period were Bismarck 11 and Minot 12. So in the game, the Bobcats with 22 shots on goal, 11 each period, and Minot with 17 total, 5 in the first and 12 in the second. Well, this is really the first weekend of, whether it's preseason or regular season, just junior hockey beginning in the top 2 leagues, amateur leagues in the U.S., the USHL, that's Tier 1, and the North American Hockey League, that's the one we're in, Tier 2. Pretty much every team having preseason games. Some of the Alaskan teams already getting stateside to play preseason games, even regular season games, before the North American Hockey League Showcase gets going on Wednesday. Every team playing 4 games in 4 days from Wednesday through Saturday. We'll have all the Bobcat games and preview them coming up on our radio home, Super Talk 1270. That's where we're going to be tomorrow. But 4 games were played today in the North American Hockey League schedule. All but one of them out east. So none involving teams that the Bobcats care about necessarily, teams the Bobcats will play over the course of the year. But hockey's back, sure. Minor league hockey, pro hockey, NHL hockey, not going to be around for another month plus. But if junior hockey and Bobcat hockey specifically is your thing, you're going to hear us a lot between now and the end of April. 60 regular season games, 2 here in the preseason, tonight and tomorrow, and beginning on Wednesday at 1:45 Central Time in Blaine, Minnesota, the Bobcats will kick off the regular season and play, with the exception of a couple of bye weeks, 2 games every weekend on Friday and Saturday at the VFW Sports Center and throughout the upper Midwest. So the Bobcats will play 4 games in the showcase. The Lone Star Brahmas, a team that returns pretty much nobody. All their top scorers are gone. They all had to age out. They bring in new goaltenders, new forwards, new defensemen, even a new broadcaster, our old friend Ashley Chase from St. Cloud coming down there to Dallas. Lone Star is going to be the first Bobcat opponent. And then on Thursday the 15th, an 11 o'clock game, the Oklahoma Warriors are the Bobcats' opponent, neutral site in Blaine, Minnesota. It'd mean a whole lot more if it were back in Bismarck, but this is a kind of a game that can only happen at that showcase, or I guess in the playoffs too. But one that, the Bobcats, I'm sure, wanted to lobby for. And that's because Garrett Roth, maybe the best Bobcat of all time, his numbers retired up on the rafters in Bismarck on all of his accolades. He was a Bobcat assistant coach for the better part of a decade under Lane Sedevy, up until only a few years ago. Now the head coach with the Oklahoma Warriors hockey team in Oklahoma City. And for the first time, it'll be Lane Sedevy taking on Garrett Roth in that game in the showcase. And Lane has said to me, it doesn't mean that much right now. We're just focused on the games at hand. Very coach-like answer. But you've got to figure out that game, which features a couple of ex-Bobcats too on the Oklahoma team. We'll talk about that as the games get closer, but that game's going to mean a whole heck of a lot for those who care about Bobcat history. And of course, Lane Sedevy firmly entrenched in it. So it's Lone Star on Wednesday, Oklahoma on Thursday, the Fairbanks Ice Dogs on Friday. They were a great team last year. And the Minnesota Wilderness, where the Bobcats used to play in their division, on Saturday. So 4 games in 4 days in the showcase. Bobcats try to rest up as best they can. And then for 56 games in a row, it's games against the same 5 teams. Minot, Aberdeen, the Austin Bruins, North Iowa Bulls, and St. Cloud Norsemen. So you can get pretty familiar with each other over the course of 7 months or so, including playoffs if the Bobcats can make it back. For ultimately a 4th consecutive year. Good start tonight in the preseason. Bobcats 3, Minot 2. Bobcats have a go-ahead goal by Patrick Johnson late in that second period to give them the lead at this point. But a lot of hockey left as the Bobcats go for a 1-0 preseason. Minot looking to tie this game up and show the Bobcats what they're made of. We'll come back with some more intermission coverage in just a moment from the Rough Rider Center in Watford City. This is Bobcat Hockey on Cool 98.7. We're back in Watford City, start of the third period. A puck is out of play near the Minot bench area. Bobcats have a 3-2 lead over the Minot Minotauros, 1:15 in to the second period. Bismarck with goals from Brandon Reller and Evan Hunter in the first period, and Patrick Johnson the go-ahead goal in the second period. Shots on goal through 2 periods are 22-17 for the Bobcats, who won 29 games last year. Lost to St. Cloud in 5 games, first round of the playoffs. Minot 28 wins and 29 losses. The last of those, the Bobcats served him up, knocked him out of the playoffs on April 18th. A game that will live in the Bobcats' memories forever. Bismarck comes in, Eddie Scheffler feeds right away from Evan Hunter. Fields the puck off the boards. He's hit by Jan Kasper Bergman on the far wing. Rookie defenseman from Finland for Minot. Up to the far boards. Mitchell keeps the zone at his right skate. Lund tries to pry it away. Trevor Stahowiak takes the puck for Minot, and he comes up the left wing. Gets the return pass from Lund. Goes in far side. Got by Mitchell to the corner. Stahowiak turns on Mitchell. The righty on the forehand. Kicks the puck to his stick. Plays to the point for Bergman. Hurried shot. Goes wide right. As Beacom tied up with a Toro. Nate Mann in front of the goal. Mann collapsed on by Beacom right boards. A keep of the line by Lucas Constantine. And Nate Mann controls from the right point. Put it past Reller, but Chase Beacom controls. It's Reller up front with Eddie Scheffler for now. They peel away for changes as the Bobcats dump in. And Minot does not get an icing call. It's below the goal line. 2:15 gone, third period. Bobcats lead 3-2. Outlet pass for Minot. Cooper Rice comes down the right wing. And Ian Engel has the puck in the corner. Engel with Mitch Simmons on defense. Kyle Dahl's line back out with Noah Nenow. And the centerman is Nico Chmielewski. Bobcats dump it deep. Cut off at the right circle. Given away for Nico Chmielewski. Goes in left wing. Dahl falls down. A Nico shot is caught and held by Carl Lido. New Minot goaltender in for the third period. So Leonard Lipskis is going to play at least the first 43 minutes of this game, with C.J. Keir on the bench biding his time. So unlike last year when the Bobcats played half and half with their goaltenders in both preseason games, looks like it's going to be Lipskis for all 3. Dane Couture for Minot played the first 40 minutes, played pretty well. And now Carl Lido, 18 years old from Stockholm, Sweden, comes in the game. Minot controls, left wing shot, deflects behind the Bobcat goal. It's Nick Sawecki on it, centers for Westland up top, and it's blocked out of play in the mesh. Joe Westland got the puck straight away, and a couple of the Bobcats collapsed down low to block the puck out, and Lipskis never saw it as it came out of play to his right. Glad you're with us tonight for the first preseason game of the year. First of 2, the Bobcats and Minot Minotauros playing tomorrow at 7 o'clock from the Rough Riders Center in Watford City. A game you can hear on Super Talk 1270, our sister station. Bobcats win a face-off and try to clear it out. It's up into the high slot, and Everett Patilla plays it down. John O'Hoyne's left wing looks to move in. Can't do it. Westland turns it back. Looks for help as he's sidestepped by Patilla. And the Toros control from center ice. On the left wing, it's dumped in by Joe Blackley. It hops on goal. A one-hopper, it's stopped, and a whistle comes late as Lipskis made the stop at the right post. And a whistle sends the puck back to the neutral zone. 16:36 to go in the third period. Coming to you live from up top of Scissor Lift in Watford City. Bobcats lead by 1. Lose a face-off at center, and it's shot in by Ben Johnson, second-year Minot defenseman. Lipskis winds it around, stopped on the right wing by UC Malmy. Ekblad sidesteps a man, can't get the puck, and a Minot right wing shot from Chase LaPinta's blocked. Now on the right wing, Hunter Longy shoots it across the way. Ben Johnson pinching along, far point shot, goes wide right of the goal. LaPinta again, down low for Joseph. Back around to the right wing, outside the circle, it's LaPinta shooting. Save made by Lipskis. Puck goes to the right point, kept in by Weston Knox. Down toward the right half boards. And the puck comes up top. Longy shoots, save, rebound was loose. And Colby Joseph grabs it off far wing. Up top, taken by Johnson, shot to the cross corner right. Jackson Ekblad controls, goes near wing, and Malmy clears it down. Will this be icing? It will. As Ben Johnson's back for the touch. 15:47 to go in the third period of play. both teams trying to figure out their goaltending situation. Both teams carrying 3 goaltenders. 2 of them for Minot play today. Dane Couture, a Minnesotan, and Carlito from Sweden. Lawton Zacher is on the bench. He'll likely play tomorrow, a Buffalo native. Bobcats have the puck in the neutral zone, going right to left. It's carried along by Evan Pertilla. Moves in 3-on-2, and the back pass was blocked by Trevor Stahowiak. Minot controls. Bergman got it away. O'Handerson shoots it down. Along toward the right wing, and icing is called. So the Bobcats get an icing call on Minot. Puck in the Toro zone for this face-off. To Carlito's left, who plays his first season outside Sweden. Same thing can be said for Leonard Zlipskis for the Bobcats and Latvia, his home country. So a couple of Europeans in goal. Lito stops a right wing shot as Johnson, Hughlin, and Holt go to work. The first line today, puck out of play. Behind the Bobcat bench and up into the top row of seats. Straight behind the Bobcat bench. Stands about 2/3 of the way full on this Friday night. Expecting more on Saturday. Plenty of Watford City natives. Plenty of Bobcat fans, Minot fans. I'd imagine there's no rooting section bigger than Jackson Ekblad's from Williston. Former Coyote turned Bobcat. Bobcats go forward off the face-off. Holt comes down the right wing. He shoots. Right toe save. Johnson rebounds. It's blocked in the thigh of Nick O'Handerson, who's stung by that shot. Gets back to his feet, hobbling with no weight on the right toe. As Johnson shoots one wide right, and it comes out of the zone. That means O'Handerson can leave for a change on the bench. So Nenow back for the Bobcats. Feeds it left, and Mitchell ahead for Patrick Johnson. Rink wide right, and here comes Drew Holt over the Bobcat line, shooting. Save made off the chest. Here's Johnson, top of the right circle with the puck. Up top, Mitchell shooting. Wide left with no tip. It's fended away by Lito before Hughlin can find the rebound. Left corner, Holt threw it off the stick. But couldn't find Hughlin and Johnson from the slot. Bobcats got a change completed. Mitchell comes on for Engel. And Beacon shoots in from center ice, left wing. Rolls around to the far boards. Clockwise dump in. Reller stops it, bats one to the low slot. It's picked up by Minot. Now they come with Joe Westland. Feeding it left. Taken off the far boards by Max Martin. Comes in, shoots. Wide of the glove hand, the left hand of Leonard Zlipskis. To the right side, Westland shoots. It is, well, the goal light comes on. The puck was not in. Now a shot turnaround play by Martin's blocked. Comes to the right side. Near the point, Reller banks one for Shepler. And the Bobcats only get it out. As the puck did not cross the goal line, the red light did flash for a second. Evan Hunter comes down the boards. Goes down to his knees. On the far wing for the Bobcats, they change behind him. Hunter with Shepler and Reller. Round to the near boards. Reller and Westland go in together. Reller takes the puck. Shepler and Hunter both in front. Reller wraps it. Already scored once tonight. Goes up to the right point. Newmeyer walks to the high slot. Feeds right circle Reller. He shoots wide right off the end boards for Evan Hunter. And he overskates the puck. Nick Sawecki for Minot comes out. 13:30 to go, third period. Bobcats 3, Toros 2 from Watford City. Joe Westland shoots it deep. Around to the far board, Shepler. With Engel nearby, they give it away. In front, Sawecki shoots. Left toe save. Loose in front, covered up now by Lipskis. As now the fisticuffs start to come. Lipskis took a shove. Knox takes down a Toro. Now they're a Bobcat. A Bobcat throwing punches. Reller below everything. Now Shepler wants to fight somebody. A helmet goes flying. As someone's lost his bucket. Not sure who. Now Martin's lost his helmet. He and Newmeyer both losing their buckets. They don't fight. Reller trying to fight a Toro down low. He'll go off for a penalty, I'd imagine. Despite not losing his helmet, having some words on the way by as he comes off. Max Martin also coming off. A yard sale near the Bobcat goal. Ben Johnson lost his helmet. He'll go off too. Max Martin for Minot. Michael Newmeyer lost his. That's usually automatic, and he'll be told to go. Newmeyer shaking his head as if to say, I wasn't trying to fight anybody. Which he wasn't. In fact, I asked him, not even a week ago, how many penalty minutes he went for this year, Newmeyer. He said, something like 16. I said, it's just one fight. I'm not going to get in the fight. This wasn't a fight, but that's about as close as Michael Newmeyer is going to come to actually dropping the gloves. It all started when It was a crash of the crease on Bobcat goaltender Leonard Lipskis. And Lipskis took exception to it, as he's done multiple times this year, or this game rather. And it led to the Bobcats backing up their goalie. All this with 13:15 to go in regulation. 3-2, the Bobcats lead Minot. Nico Chmielewski, Bobcat co-captain, is the one to talk things out with the officials. Referee Dylan Zobel. And Colby Joseph, Minot's not named captains, but Joseph has been the guy to take the ceremonial face-off, talk to the officials. You'd imagine he is certainly in the running to get a letter from Cody Campbell. Bobcats have named their 4 captains, 2 captains and 2 alternates. The 2 men wearing the C are Nico Chmielewski and Patrick Johnson. And wearing the A's are Luke Roloffs and Chase Beacom. 4 guys of many they could have picked. 13 returners on this Bobcat team. So Newmeyer and Reller are both being told to leave, which would indicate more than 13 minutes of penalties were given to them. We don't have any live, scoring online we can check the penalties for. We'll have to wait for Pierre Theodos, the Minot public address announcer, to give us the ruling and relay it to us up here in the scissor lift. Just left of the scorer's table. But Ben Johnson and Max Martin have both been asked to leave. Martin high-fives a Minot fan near the locker room, up the tunnel. Reller and Newmeyer off for the Bobcats. So even strength for the face-off whenever it comes. Bobcats only have 2 guys ready for it. Beacom and Mitch Simmons, their defenseman. As Zobel, the referee, talks with Lane Sedovey and Hunter Laszlo on the bench. Zobel skated away, but Lane shook his head and yelled something to him, called him back. Now getting in his face, leaning over the bench. Relatively calm for Lane. Still leaning over. Now he's back upright, wearing a gray suit, light blue shirt, blue striped tie. Still with words for the referee Dylan Zobel, trying to argue a power play out of this. Hunter Laszlo in a black suit, red tie, Bobcat assistant coach staying out of it. So the penalties are for double minors and 10-minute misconduct. So 14 minutes of penalties with 13:15 to go. No fighting majors, which are 15 minutes. Minot comes in off the face-off. A shot gets stopped. Music keeps on blaring here in Watford City. Now they hit the pause button. Minot has the puck in the Bobcat zone. So 14 penalty minutes. Not going to count, of course, on the stats in this preseason game. But 2 Bobcats, Reller and Newmeyer, and 2 Toros, Martin and Johnson. Ben Johnson, both leaving in this third period. Bobcats a 3-2 lead. So the Bobcats with the puck. Dahl ran over, dump truck by Hunter Longy near the line. Toros have it. Nico Hannison shoots in off the right boards and down to the corner. Mitch Simmons back with Chase Beacom. Well, the Bobcats dressed 13 forwards and 7 defensemen. Skated 22. One up from the usual 21 you're allowed to skate, but it's the preseason after all. So the Bobcats will be down to 12 forward, 60. Not exactly playing shorthandedly for the final 13 minutes. They come in left wing. John O'Hoynes goes to the corner. Out of Telluride, Colorado. Loses the puck with 3 Toros on him. Stahowiak skates fleet of foot through center ice across the center circle. Area pass to the right wing, gets to it himself with Justin Dauphiné behind him. And the Bobcats work it loose. Hoynes can't get it out. Stahowiak down the far boards. In the corner, pressed by Simmons. Toro taken down. They call for a penalty. None comes. In the right corner. Lund comes out for Minot. Meets the checking of Mitchell. Puck on its side, rolling to the right corner. Simmons tries the far wing. And the puck is kept in for a moment by Blackley. Joe Blackley keeps the zone, left wing. Here's a shot. Stopped high and caught by Leonard Lipskis, as now Simmons gets into it with Stahowiak to the right of the goal crease. And important to note, if Simmons were to have anything more precipitate, Mitch Simmons did fight an Aberdeen wing back on Tuesday. A fight that the big Mitch Simmons won. And a whopping 6'4", 215. The guy he fought was his teammate at prep school last year, North Star Christian Academy in Minnesota, Jackson Grosdidier. So those two will see each other as the year progresses if both make the respective rosters. There are going to be cuts following these weekend's games, and that's the human part of hockey. But we call these games, not thinking about that. At center ice, the Bobcats' Paul Hughlin pulls it free. Right wing for Drew Holt, over the Minot line, back for Hughlin, right circle, shoots, blocked high. Now out of play as Nickel Henderson got a stick on it. The Bobcats have an offensive zone faceoff, 11:24 to go in regulation time from the Rough Rider Center. Bobcats in the lead, 3-2. They win a face-off with Hughlin, dropping it back for Ekblad. He shoots, save off the chest and covered up by the goaltender Carlito. So the Williston boy, Jackson Ekblad, takes the shot from the high slot. I feel like even some Minot fans, if it's announced he's from Williston, would have been okay with a local kid scoring a goal. As okay as you can be in a rivalry like this. Playing with Angle on defense for this face-off. Holt, Hughlin, Johnson. They win the face-off back to Ekblad. Right wing shot, blocked. Friendly fire off Holt. And the Toros get it ahead with O'Hannison up for Rice. Comes down the left wing and it's jabbed away by Angle. Angle and Johnson work the puck loose. Hughlin can't control. Owen Hansen comes middle, shoots, blocked in front. A sliding Ekblad along with Hughlin got control. And here's Angle. 11 to go, third period. Angle scales one off the glass. The Toro falls backwards for it. The Bobcats can't move in the Minot zone. Angle and Mann give each other checks as Ekblad controls, scans the ice, feeds right past Shepler. So knocks back with Constantine in the Minot zone. The Bobcats had their defensemen change up. Beacom and Bear come on the ice as their second line goes to work offensively. Bobcats control on their own zone. Chmelevski with Holt and Shepler for now. They steal it. Westland shoots wide right as Minot took the puck in the right circle. 10:20 to go. Bobcats have it. Nick Bear clears up the near wing. Minnetonka native trying to find Shepler. Fights through Stahowiak. Gets there in the low slot. Then lost the puck. As it was taken off his stick by Jan Kasper Bergman. Shepler going 1-on-2 and nearly prevailing on the play. Delayed offside on Minot. The Bobcats' Nick Bear touches. Bear comes up the middle. Taken away Sawecki. A diving shot stops Stahowiak in front. Pit toward the left. And Westland was in too deep on the far wing. Couldn't get a shot away. Now it's centered. Chmelevski pulls it back. And Miko tries to clear it. Off the near boards and glass, it comes out. Through the Toros' legs of Blackley down the ice. Icing is waved off. 9:40 to go, and the Bobcats get a change. Evan Hunter on the ice with Chmelevski and Nolan Ninow. Bobcats go right to left, but Minot has the puck on the right wing. Blackley, he shoots. Right toe save by Leonard Slipsky's left wing shot goes wide right. The Bobcats control once again. Up they come with Malmy coming down the left wing. A shot, save and a cover by Carlito. UC Malmy the opportunity with 9:18 to go in the third period. Take a timeout. Bobcats lead 3-2 over Minot. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Bobcat Hockey on Cool 98.7.
4, 1, 8, 7. As the Reds take it. 1, 3, 4. 1, 8, 7. Head over to the 50-50 raffle table, find Josh, and collect your $450.
$9:18 to go, third period. Bobcats 3, Minot 2 from the Rough Rider Center in Watford City, North Dakota. First of 2 preseason games for the Bismarck Bobcats before 60 in the regular season. Beginning on Wednesday afternoon, the Bobcats take on the Lone Star Brahmas at 1:45. But that's a few days away. Our next broadcast is tomorrow night. These two teams back at it. Preseason game number 2. At 7 o'clock. Bobcats have an offensive zone face-off. Nolan Ninow will take it. The Jamestown Blue Jay wins it back to Mitchell. Trevor Mitchell shoots, blocked up high. Ninow gets the rebound, shoots one off the goaltender as it rode up onto his body. Lito made the stop. Now Mitchell shoots, blocked by Joe Blackley. Centered across. Ninow shoots, blocked high. A sliding stop by Blackley, the defenseman, and the puck comes out of play. Wide open near wing in the circle was Nolan Ninow. And the Jamestown High School current senior, made the play. but it was stopped by Joe Blackley. The yell commit for Minot on defense. Elevates the puck out of play. So a local kid comes so close to scoring. Minot wins this face-off in the defensive zone. They can't clear it. Simmons, a slant pass down low. Counterclockwise near corner boards for Kyle Dahl. Left circle, holds on. Stahowiak took it off his stick. Stahowiak comes loose to the right side. He gets it out. And left the puck behind to the linesman skates. He now chops it back in, but Blackley's there to cover up. With 8:45 to go in the third period. 3-2, Bobcats lead. Here's Stahowiak for Minot, coming down the right wing. To the right circle, shooting. Wide of the glove hand, wide right of the goal. Toro wipes out on the end boards, and the Bobcats get a 2-on-1. Malmy comes in right wing with Dahl and lost the puck, just mishandled it. And played it right to the Minot defense. Now Dauphiné shoots it down for the Toros, left to right. Bobcats wear black here in Watford City. A Watford City Oilers style jersey with Bobcats on the front in the Oilers logo. Dahl shoots a high slot shot out of play. Really a great jersey. We didn't know what the jerseys were going to be until very late. The Bobcats didn't even see their jerseys till they got here to the rink. It's a black jersey with the Bobcats Vegas gold trim all around, the Vegas gold logo. The Oiler logo with the Bobcat logo, in fact, on the oil drop on the top of the logo, and Bobcats in text. Peace Garden State on the top of the back of the jersey, and Warren Watford 2022 on the bottom, near the waist on the back. In the Minot zone, Toros clear out with Owen Hansen down the far wing, gets to center ice, pokes it past a Bobcat Ekblad, coming in his rice for Minot, centers across. Nobody home to take the pass. Under 8 to go, third period. Shut off the boards and down. As Everett Patilla gets it deep, it's clanked off the glass by Sam Blanton, and down the boards, Toros control with Bergman. Bergman comes up with Owen Hansen to his left. Bergman gets by Patilla's poke check. It comes in the zone, but shot right back out. Left wing for Blanton, coming in one-on-one with O'Handerson going wide left. Blanton cuts behind the Bobcat offensive goal. Can't center it. Hansen blocks it. And on the far wing near the point, the Toros come out. 4 men through center ice. They give it away off of O'Handerson. Sent ahead for Huglin. Gets it down left corner. Holt chasing it down, a rolling puck in the feet of Johnson, who controls. Centers across. Holt shoots. Blocked in front. Wide on the far wing. Toledo's left, the Minot goaltender. Now around the boards, near corner. Constantine gets it to Minot. In the high slot, given away. Huglin for Johnson. Back to Paul Huglin, left wing in the corner. Paul centers up top. Bear winds and fakes it. Goes right now. Shoots. Blocked in front. Nobody sees the puck. It's in Owen Hansen's feet. Now he controls. 1-on-3 though over the Bobcat red line. Now he dumps it deep. And both teams get changes going. Ian Engel back to recover the puck. 6:40 left, third period. Bobcats lead 3-2 in Watford City. Here's Johnson going right in the middle for Paul Huglin. Has Holt to his right. Feeds for Holt in the far corner. Holt has the puck, goes toward the point. It's picked off by Dauphiné. Minot comes through center ice, 3-on-3. Open ice here. Left wing Dauphiné. Looks to center it, comes in front. Lipsky's paddle down. Comes to the right point, Blackley. Drags along and lost it. Nico Chernalewski has a 2-on-1. With Holt going middle. Nico goes in left wing. He holds and shoots. Save, loose in front to the far boards. Holt got the rebound but lost it. Eddie Shepler comes in for support. Pops it down toward Holt, right corner. Here's Chernalewski in the right face-off circle. He comes in, shoots. Tumbling puck goes high. Shepler after the rebound. Blackley took it away. To the point, Captain Mitchell fans on a shot. Swing and a miss. And he plays back outside the line for Evan Hunter. So a 2-on-1 with Holt, and Chernalewski fails to work on Nico's shot. Bobcats go back defensively. Nico guarding Blackley. And the Minot defenseman Joe Blackley shoots in, their rookie. In the neutral zone, Nico Chernalewski. Long shift for him with Shepler and Hunter. Nico coming in, tried to drop it across for Eddie. It was out of the zone. Mitchell couldn't find the puck defensively. It's back with Hunter, who retreats back, feeds for Mitch Simmons. Takes the puck just nearly into his own goal crease. And out comes out. 5:20 left, third period. Rink wide left for Chernalewski. Comes up with Simmons and Shepler. Nico feeds right in the area of Simmons, blocked away. And the Toros' LaPinta comes in 2-on-2. Chase LaPinta. Crossing high slot, backhand. He shoots. Stopped by Lipsky's. Played to his right. And the Bobcats control. A couple of Toros calling for a penalty at the bench. It doesn't come as Chernalewski shoots in. Hopping puck to the cross corner far wing. Under 5 to go, third period. Bobcats lead 3-2. Minot recovers the puck and goes up ice with an errant pass away from LaPinta. End of his shift, he goes off for a change. Beacom on the ice defensively, shoots in and goes off for a change himself. Jackson Ekblad comes on with Ian Engel. Toros have the puck in their own zone. Sahoyak comes up. In the middle for Dauphiné, comes down the right boards, charging toward the goal, backhand pass across, goes wide off the left post, with Lund getting to the far post and putting it just wide left. A quick centering pass. Bobcats knock it loose to center. They play offside, but no touch. Get back on as the Toros circle through center ice. Lund drops it back for Constantine. Out of Los Angeles, California, Constantine. Up the middle for Lund. Torrey Lund from Sartell, Minnesota, near St. Cloud. Here's Blanton coming in for the Bobcats. Feeds it across. Nobody home, back door to the far post. He now shoves his man Dauphiné. Puck kept in by Bear. And he throws it down low, counterclockwise near corner. And the Toros have the puck calmly through center ice to Hoyak. So Hoyak got it in. Engel shot it right back out. And Knox controls. Shoots it ahead. 3:40 to go. Bobcats out of their own zone. And right back in the Minot zone. Toros controls to Hoyak. Engel couldn't knock it loose. It's shot back in by Everett Patilla. So the Toros control. Bobcats content to kill some time with 3:25 to go. Both teams get their changes done. And the Minot offense comes up with Owen Hansen right wing. Crashing to the right corner, went down on his own accord as the Bobcats were hot on him with Engel falling on top of the puck. Now it's released. And Patilla hops on that in the right corner. Feeds up top, Captain for a shot. Wide right off O'Hanneson's stick. To the far boards, Toros keep the zone with Hansen playing it left wing. Up top, and a Blackley shot goes around the boards intentionally wide. Under 3 to go, third period. Bobcats lead by a goal in this preseason first game of the year. Wound around by the Bobcats in their zone. Holt taps it loose. Out of the zone by Nick Baer, the defenseman. Joe Westland gains the center line, then shoots in. A one-hopper and stopped off the glove and dropped intentionally by Leonard Lipskis. He sends it around the boards. Down the ice, and icing is called. So 2:31 to go. Both teams have their timeouts in their back pocket. But a timeout being called would permit the icing team to make a change. So Cody Campbell not using his timeout just yet. Not pulling his goaltender either with 2:31 to go. Bobcats lead 3-2. No scoring this third period. Patrick Johnson's goal would stand as the winner late in period 2. They win a face-off in the zone. Johnson tips the puck out. Goes back to the Minot zone. Constantine chasing it down. Survives a couple of whacks from Johnson. Goes around to the far boards. They whiff on a clearing try. Stahowiak comes up left to right. Lobs it up the middle for Sawecki. Nick Sawecki down the right wing for Minot. Right circle shot. Caught and held by Lipskis, with Westland crashing the crease and being shoved away by Mitchell and Johnson. 2:09 to go in the third period. We'll see how Minot plays this year. There have been no power plays in this third period. There have been penalties, 2 on each team. Bobcats without Brandon Miller and Michael Newmeyer for the remainder, with penalties at 13:15 on the clock. Fisticuffs in front of the Bobcat goal to our right, where this faceoff is. Bobcats win it, shoot it ahead. Nico jabs it down to the ice, and Shepler clears the zone. 2-on-2 with Hunter going in, but Shepler just plays deep. And Blackley back on the puck, sends it around the boards, far wing past Longkey down the ice. Chased down by Chemilevsky, icing waved off, short of the goal line, and the clock at 1:50. Nico gets the puck with Lapinta on him. Mitchell a shove on Lapinta, release for Shepler. Eddie controls. Lito still on the goal crease with 1:40 left. It's shot down to his end. Blackley and O'Hannesson recover. For the Bobcat, that Shepler with Dahl. For the moment, they're changing now. Malmy comes on the ice, part of their fourth line, with Beacom and Mitchell. Toros come in right wing. Lapinta drags middle. He got taken down by a Bobcat Nino in the slot. A blindside check, and the puck leaves the zone. As he was gearing up to shoot Lapinta from the top of the slot. And Nino just pummeled them down. No shot was taken. Bobcats lift one out of the zone to center. 1:10 left. Dahl steals it near the Minot bench. He shoots in. Around the board. It's stopped behind by Lito. 1:05 to go. Minot comes out. Dauphiné left to right. Lito comes off for a 6th attacker. Bobcats lead by 1. 6-on-5 for Minot. At the left point, the puck comes out. Played in, but offside. Bobcats to the middle. Coming up is Patilla. Lost it. Left wing Nino with an empty goal. Can't get the puck onto his stick. As a good back-checking play was made by Jan Kasper Bergman. Now on the right wing, the pass misses Cooper Rice. It comes down, but it was touched. Icing not called, 35 to go. Puck in the Bobcat zone. Minot with a 6-on-5. In the middle, jab on the one-hand shot was blocked by Lipskis. Up top, Lund shoots, blocked wide right. Off of Rice's skates. Rice in the corner, Dauphiné centers. Lund shoots, tipped up in the air, goes behind the Bobcat goal. 21 to go. Now it's cleared out by the Bobcats. Blanton, rolling puck below the goal line. Icing is called as it misses wide right with 14 to go. And now I'd imagine Cody Campbell will get the whiteboard out. There he goes. Cody on the top step of the bench as he yells at some Bobcats trying to cheat the icing, but with a timeout being called, they're going to be able to change anyway. Cody at the Minot bench, using his timeout to draw up one final play. The goaltender Lito involved in it, even though he's going to be on the bench for the play. So 14 seconds left. It's a face-off in the Bobcat zone. Off the icing. Bobcats 3, Minot 2. Looking to hold on for a preseason victory in game number 1. Game 2 at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Stay tuned for the Bobcat postgame show. We'll take a look at the upcoming schedule, look around the league, and hear from Bobcat head coach Lane Sedevy, following what he hopes is a Bobcat 3-2 win. 14 seconds left. Both teams draw things up. No whiteboard out for Lane Sedevy. He's just barking at his 5 that'll be on the ice. Looks like Engel and Mitchell with Huglin. No, Engel will come off to the bench. He was on the ice for the timeout, but it's Beacom and Mitchell with Johnson, Holt, Huglin. First line for the Bobcats offensively. Charles have Colby Joseph in for a face-off, their top goal scorer last year. In the far circle, he wins the face-off, but to the far boards, Mitchell backhands one out of the zone and into the bench. Ends up on the Minot bench, so a gift there on the clear, which was good. 11 seconds to go on the clock. And again, a face-off in the Minot offensive zone. So whatever was drawn up can still be worked out here. Left circle draw, Joseph and Huglin. Bobcats win this one. Winded around right boards. It is not kept in by Longy, chasing it down. Icing's waved off. 5 to go in the game. Minot plays back in their own zone. 2 seconds, 1, and the Bobcats win the opener in the preseason. No scoring in that third period, so the Bobcats' final score of 3-2 holds up. Bismarck gets the win and moves to 1-0 in the preseason as they win this Warren Watford City opener. Final score, Bobcats 3 and the Minotauros 2. Bobcat goals by Brandon Reller and Evan Hunter in the first period and Patrick Johnson in the second period. No scoring for either team in the third. Minot got a couple of second period goals by Chase LaPinta and Nico Hannison. But aside from that, no goals in period 3. In fact, no power plays either team in period 3. So we're going to not say goodbye just yet. We'll lower the scissor lift and come back for post-game coverage as the Bobcats win this thing 3-2 over Minot. Stay tuned for Lane Sedevy and a recap and a look around the North American Hockey League. This is Bobcat Hockey on Cool 98.7. Back here in Watford City at the Rough Riders Center, the Bobcats beat Minot 3-2 in the preseason opener. Lane Sedovey with me, Bobcat head coach. Good way to wrap up, or should say start out your 13th season. A couple of goals early on. Patrick Johnson gets the game winner in the period, and the Bobcats beat Minot 3-2.
Yeah, I liked our first period. Felt like we kind of started throwing a few pucks after that. It got a little sloppy, but I mean, that's what you expect, early on. It's exhibition, and there's some good, there's some bad, but at the end of the day, found a way to win.
What was the good?
Well, I mean, at times I thought we really established our forecheck. We had good chances. Just I thought our structure was really good. We didn't give up much. I mean, and then we come out in the second, and we give up two 2-on-1s back to back, and we didn't give up an out-man rush in the first period. So, that's the good, and then there's the bad. So you have to learn from your mistakes. I thought we were, last 10 we were more sound, and played everybody. And hey, you gotta get thrown in the fire. It's the only way you learn. So, I played our so-called fourth line, never double shifted, and they were double shifting their first line. So, but again, it's a good result.
And the fourth line of UC Malmy, John O'Hoyne, Sam Blanton, Everett Patilla playing a bunch of minutes, as you said, in that third period. What did they do to help you guys get the win?
Well, I mean, I think I got guys trying to make the team, so we need to see that. And, that's, to me, what these games are about. I mean, we got guys that are trying to solidify those last roster spots, and you got to see those guys in all situations. So, that's why we play them.
Shots on goal were just being told are 32-29, so a 2-goal performance for Leonard Lipskis on two 2-on-1s that he couldn't really stop. Aside from that, pretty darn good.
Yeah, solid. Plays the puck well too, which I thought was really nice. Breaks pressure. I think that's the underrated component of a goaltender back there. I mean, he stopped every puck. He can play it. He was solid. Has been solid since he got here, and I thought he was good tonight too.
When you have a guy like Oscar Spinars Nordin leave and go pro, Leonard Lipskis was a guy you were excited about last year as well before he even came in, but now that he is one of the guys for you and putting on a good show here, you give him all 60 minutes. What could he be for you guys going forward?
Well, I mean, you're hoping to find, really the next guy in there that gives you a chance to win every night, and that's something Oscar's did. And I like our goaltending situation right now. I thought CJ's been really good too. He'll play tomorrow night, and I think we have a really good tandem right now. So. I think that's one thing we struggled to find a goaltender last year at the start of the year, and I think this year we're pretty solid between the pipes.
When Lipskis goes out to play the puck behind the goal, on top of the crease, whatever it may be, obviously you play the position. Do you still get nervous there behind the bench?
I mean, he's pretty confident doing it. So, I was terrible at playing the puck. So I just thought if I stayed in my crease and stayed in my net, I had a better chance of stopping it. So. I would go back there, set it up, and get back in my net. But it's a huge advantage. I mean, you see it at all levels, and even in the National Hockey League, some of those goalies are extremely gifted at playing the puck. So it's nice to have a guy back there. Sometimes it feels like you have a sixth defenseman. You bring two pressure, and he beats you or two, and out you come every time.
I'm sure he's watching some Marty Brodeur back in the day.
He has no idea who Marty Brodeur is. I'd almost guarantee you that.
Are you kidding me?
He's from Latvia.
I mean,
you say Tretiak, he knows who that is, but
well,
I got a Jimmy Craig sweater hanging up in the basement. He was over, and I asked him if he knew who that was, and he said, no.
Really? You wouldn't know who Tretiak is. He was the best goalie in the world back at his time.
He knew who Tretiak was, but not Jimmy Craig.
Okay. How about these jerseys the Bobcats are wearing? The Edmonton Oilers, Watford Oilers, black and gold kind of situation going on. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not an Edmonton Oiler fan at all. But for Watford, I think it's really cool. I think they're sharp. They match our colors, and our guys like them. I mean, when they first saw them, they thought they were pretty sweet. So, I think they've done a good job this year. It's nice that I know you can reflect on last year, Corey. I don't know who was on what team last year and who, if I was in the game, I probably would have had about 15 turnovers because I don't know, the colors pretty much clashed together. So this year they did a good job. I think both jerseys are really nice.
All right, Lane Sedeby, thanks so much.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, the Bobcats go to 1-0 in the preseason. They defeat Minot here in Watford City. Final score, the Bobcats 3, Toros 2. Again, the shots on goal for the game were the Bobcats 32 and the Toros 29. So it's a complete game win for Lenard's Lipskis. 27 for 29 in goal for the Bobcats. Only 2 goals given up were 2-on-1s to the far side of the crease. He had no chance. As you may hear from the ambient microphone, they are auctioning off all the jerseys. Auctioneer in the middle, talking really fast, giving out all the jerseys to be worn, well, that were worn today. They're starting with the Minot players, wearing the white North Dakota Pride jerseys. White and blue with red and yellow mixed in. And now Michael Newmeyer gets his turn. And Michael Newmeyer says he's from Robert, Saskatchewan. Good for him. And they're going to keep on going with this for a long time, so we could go on for forever. But we're going to wrap things up here and take a look at tomorrow's game. CJ Curia, as Lane mentioned, will start the game at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. That's tomorrow from the Rough Rider Center in Watford. You'll be able to hear the hockey game over on Super Talk 1270. That's our main station for the majority of the hockey season. Some Friday night games here on Cool 98.7 with high school football over on Super Talk. But tomorrow's game at 7 o'clock Central Time from Watford City will be on Super Talk 1270 as the Bobcats and the Minotauros take each other on in preseason game number 2 of 2. Bobcats going to go for the sweep of the war in Watford City. We'll talk to you then, but for now, so long. And thank you for tuning in to Bobcat Hockey on Cool 98.7. The final score, the Bobcats 3 and the Minot Minotauros 2. This has been a presentation of Bismarck Bobcats Hockey on Cool 98.7.